Hello, hello. Good evening. The quotes, I'm not going to comment on them. I think that's the best course of action for me is if I don't don't say anything about the quotes, because those sure are an interesting combination. I love the cannibalism quote though. It's a good one. It's a good one. The funniest thing to me about the cannibalism quote is because it did not happen during the actual Yuri game that featured cannibalism, right? Like, it would be one thing if I had said it during the game that featured cannibalism. But no, I said it during a very normal game. I just don't speak French. I do not, in fact, speak French. I never will. Oui, oui. Oui, oui, oui. But yeah. Welcome back to Flowers, which forces me to kind of think about the French language sometimes, but I refuse. We are still trying to get all our endings. We are on the second to last, which is Rikka's ending, so we are just going to run through all of these text messages. What? Text we've seen before, just to see some new stuff. Thank you, Sammy. Even if you can't hear, I'm still gonna say thank you. Also, thank you, Flo, for the resub. Duh. Hope you enjoy your emotes. Why am I not just pressing next? My bad. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. This is a lot of... Am I on the right save? I should be, I think. I hope I am. Erika-san smiles, cat-like, and then it's my turn to ask her. Wow, it's the first thing I'm reading and it's already a cat like Erika. Never seen a cat like Erika before. I begin. I have no idea where we're at right now, though. This is what we get for just pressing next. I have no idea where we are. And so I tell her everything I've been getting up to with my nighttime project. Aha! The present. Okay. Yeah, this is a new scene. Okay, we're doing well then. This is what I want. I climb into bed but remain awake for a while. Yeah, that's new still. Okay. Everything is still and quiet. January is almost over. And I went outside of my game. That's not where I want to be. Cursor, please stop moving. Thank you. We don't want to sleep yet. Can't fall asleep just yet. Turning on my reading light, I pulled a paperback out from under my pillow. Given how few days I've left, I really wanted to finish it tonight. That's me! That's me with this game! The cat hair stuck on my glasses. That's me with this game. I would also like to finish it tonight. I've already got the general shape of it. Now it's just about connecting parts together and adjusting them. Erika-san showed me how to do it. I want to make sure it's something she can actually use. I take out the wool and crochet needles and start knitting. I can say I'm good at it, and certainly better now than when I first started. Still, if I said as much to Erika-san, I'm sure she'd tell me I still have a ways to go. A giggle escapes my lips and I quickly press a hand to my mouth to stifle it. Erika-san is asleep in the bed below. I don't want to interrupt her sleep, and I also don't want her to find out what I'm doing. Carefully, I stitch the orange and yellow petals together to form a flower. A supple flower so delicate it seems like a strong breeze could break it. The coarse resilient, just like hers. I attach each petal securely and pull at the elastic band, testing its strength. The woolen stitches keep their shape. It should be fine. After packing away my tools, I carefully sew the finished hair ornament. Now all that's left is to give it to her, no matter how awkward the thought makes me feel. Hoping that Erika-san will like it, I turn off the reading lamp and snuggle back under the warm covers to sleep. Speaking of reading lamps, though, I'm this close to... I don't know if any of you guys have ever seen those, but if you go looking for like Kindle accessories, there's so many people who get these little like harps to put their Kindles on, so they have them like suspended above them in bed, so you don't actually have to hold the Kindle. I'm this close to getting one for myself because it's like, nice, I don't actually have to hold this thing, and it's right above me, and I can read. I could read without my glasses if I put it close enough. But then I would also need one of those stupid little auto clickers, and it's like, it's just an e-reader. I don't need all that stuff. But TikTok keeps showing me other people who read like that, and it's like, you know, it does look fun, but do I really need it? No. A reading lamp is always a good idea though, because if you plan on doing anything during like nighttime when it's dark, it is not good. It's not good for your eyes. Get a proper lamp. Someone I once knew wrote that we walk away from our dreams afraid that we may fail, or worse yet, afraid we may succeed. I learned from the movie Finding Forrest. February 1st? No, it's May 1st. Okay, it's a birthday thingy.
何が？私のお願いを聞いてくれたでしょ？時間がなかったから随分と手を煩わせてしまったし。先に頼み事をしたのは私だよ。
We love doing favors.
でもそれは以前のことの帳尻を合わせただけだわ。今回の私のお願いの分はどうやってお返ししたらいいか。
She cuts me off, telling me she really doesn't mind.
善意ってやつは見返りを期待した時点でその意味をなくしてしまう。私はお前のためにしてやりたかったからやっただけだ。
Face is still contorted into a grimace, but I can tell.
おっと、そろそろ渋滞の列も消えたみたいだ。行こうぜ、白羽。
Okay. And the party's winding down. Winding. Is this one a winding or winding? I hate it. I find my chance.
Rikka-san.
I call out to my métier partner who has been quiet, the wallflower. She looks toward me, somewhat dazed, and tilts her head.
何？少し個人的なお話があるのだけれど。
Something personal.
個人的な話。
Sensing something ominous in my words, a cloud passes over her face and she fiddles nervously with her braids.
いいわ。少し歩きましょう。
We exit Iznik, the chilly air curling over our skin despite the heating system. The hubbub of the party barely reaches us here. It sounds like the faint noise of a distant town festival.
お話って？
There's an unmistakable tension in her voice.
彼女は何を恐れているのだろうか。
It makes me wonder. Tension and fear are old friends of mine, and I can always sense their presence.
サプライズのケーキ、うまくいってよかったわね。
She nods, relief softening her expression.
スオさんからお話を聞いたときは驚いたわ。まさかエリカさんがって。彼女は誰よりも周りを見て、それでいてとても気遣いができる人だわ。ええ、でもとても恥ずかしがり屋。だからサプライズをするなら
Makes sense,
二人
actually.
きりですると思っていたの。
But on the other hand, Erika has always pushed for Chidori to get along more with other people, because she's always like, don't just hang around me, don't be a misanthrope like me. Like, go out, have friends. I nod and we share a smile before I continue.
きっと高崎さんに
Yeah.
たくさんの友人を
Thank you, so that's what I'm saying.
そしてこのパーティーを通して一人ではないと知ってほしかったのよ。そうね。
Mika-san's gaze flits toward the window, but she doesn't seem to see the snow outside. Instead, it's like she's staring into a deep ocean, devoid of light. Give her the present. Yeah, bro, I didn't spend all of that time making choices to actually work on the present if I'm not going to give it to her now. Hello.
リッカさん。リッカさん言ったわよね。エリカさんは恥ずかしがり屋だからサプライズをするなら二人きりの時にすると思ったって。ええ。私は育児がないからみんなの前では渡しづらかったの。だから。
I'm sweaty. I tighten my grip on the present I'm holding behind my back.
私からリッカさんへ遅くなった誕生日プレゼントがあるの。
Yay! A hot flash washes over me as I hold the gift out to her. Oh, those are so cute. For her hair! Oh, those are so cute. Do you think the sprite is actually going to change if we give her those? In my hand is a hair ornament in the design of her namesake flower, the golden poppy.
これって。以前リッカさんの誕生日でケーキのプレゼントを勘違いさせてしまったことがあったでしょ。だからいつかちゃんとしたプレゼントをしなきゃって思っていたの。髪飾り？ええ、手芸が得意なエリカさんに頼んで教えてもらって、リッカさんの名前、花火思想をモチーフにして作ってみたのだけれど。
Also, that's really good work for first time crocheting, like, damn. Nickerson is staring wordlessly at the hair ornament, her eyes as dreamy as earlier, and then...
私のために。
Pure joy blossoms across her face like ripples spreading across her lake, then through her entire body as she flings her arms around me and pulls me into a tight hug. Aww.
嬉しいわ。私のためにプレゼントを用意してくれていたなんて。だって前にとても失礼なことをして。前の誕生日だって十分祝ってもらったわ。それなのにこんな。
Feeling a deep affection resonating from her in that hot, tight hug, an incomparable joy wells up within me.
リッカさん、私もこんなに喜んでくれて本当に幸せだわ。
I want to go back in time, back to before I came to the academy, back to when I still feared I would never relate to anyone, and not tell that girl what's waiting for her.
こんなにも素晴らしい親友がいる。
Stroking Mammy Teapot's hair, I recall a line from a movie. Someone I once knew wrote that we walk away from our dreams afraid that we may fail, or worse yet, afraid we may succeed. When I heard that line in Finding Forrester, it struck me as horribly cold and pointed. It was like those words were being spoken to me directly. Now, however, I can accept them at face value, and I see the truth in them.
私とアミティエでいてくれてありがとう。
I'm finally able to summon those words from the bottom of my heart and tell her. Aww. That's sweet.
Watashi to Shion no monogatari ga tsurugarete iku.
Da-da-da-da-da. Grateful I was busy preparing for the Council of Nikea's events and making Nickerson's present, but...
これからはシオンバスキアを調べることに専念できる。
Oh yeah. We don't have any good memories of love letters. That's not it. Open your mouth. Da-da-da-da-da. Stroke her head. Oh. Mystery 2. Words of the Council of Nikea and Yuzuriya Yatsushiro. And bam! Ho 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 ho. We can make an... Oh, I'm running out of save files on this. It's here. Woo! You know, I mean, I could go to the second page, but I'm like, okay, I need exactly 7 save files. I can fit all of those on page 1. I just need to remember that these 2 are my main save files, and these are the specific ones to reload for specific endings. And to be fair, though, I've already gotten all of the ones on the right, so I don't actually need them anymore. Anyway. Yes, we were there when Mayuri got hurt. Can it be a contemporary play? Okay, so what's different here with Rikka? You give her that thing. Okay, we can't reveal the say something encouraging. Anything we can... Oh, suddenly we're getting to the end of the game, huh? Meaning of the epitaph. And the number of psalms. So. Aha! Okay, so this ending takes place... Everything that happens during the play happens. We meet Mayuri in the library, and she tells us she has to go. And she leaves. Okay. Good. Let's see. Time passes by in idleness after I lose Mayuri. Not a single thing of note happens after the leaving party as we move towards spring break. I wake early, get dressed, rouse my métier partner, and have the day's recommended meal for breakfast in the cafeteria. In the mornings I do my homework, then I spend my afternoons reading until it's time for bed. The weather shifts back and forth, a tug of war alternating between sun and cloud, strings of cold days followed by warmer weather. At a certain point the cold fades until it's as indistinct as the dusk before night falls. All at once I realize that winter is over. A new season is upon us. Spring, the season of beginnings. I spent the last day of the spring break a bundle of nerves. Having finished all of the Counts of Nikea's preparations for tomorrow's opening ceremony by lunchtime, I'm nose deep in a novel, as usual. Then... book. They appeared 1:30, as expected, and asked the same question as always. I know that one, I haven't read it though. Ichiko-san claps hands together and announces that she knows this one. Perhaps she's even read it herself. Makes sense. Oh. We talk about the book for a while, then. My tea partner carries over a tray laden with steaming cups of tea. Like a reprint of a photo, it's the exact same scene as yesterday. Well, there's slight variations. I've played through the same scene every day of vacation. It's been like a recurring dream. Hello! To be fair though, during school, I think every time you're on break, on a longer break, like the 1 week breaks, not so much, but every break that was like 2 weeks. Okay, we only had 2 week breaks. Summer break was 6 weeks, everything else was either just the 1 week or 2. It's always like, you're approaching like the middle of the second week and time starts feeling unreal because you're fully out of the loop of like, oh, wake up, go to school, come back home, blah blah blah. And then suddenly they want you back there and I'm like, ugh, I was getting used to not having to go anywhere. Thank you for the break. I left my heart behind in the library on the night of the play. Cannibalism. Rikka doesn't play about tea. I know that the Sasaki sisters are trying to cheer me up, but right now I feel off kilter and I don't have the will to ride myself. Waits for the weekend. You are so right, actually, thank you so much. And so I'm a little sad, actually, though. We have given her the present. You'd think that they would bother maybe making it so she actually wears them in her hair. Like, I think as for how much work it would be to make that a different sprite, I think it would have been worth it. Like, it's a small thing. It's like, yeah, you gave her that as a present, so afterwards she gets this version of a sprite. But what do I know? Maybe that would have made it harder for it to count as the same scenario, and we... Oh, yeah, okay, look, you know what? Never mind. I hold up my empty cup and she pours the liquid in from high up to aerate it. She hasn't asked me about any of it. When I returned alone, it was Irika-san who drew what happened out of me. She seethed with anger when I told her Mayuri had said she wasn't ready to come back yet. Even then, Rika-san... She made the same choice as me and is staying close by my side, treating me as though nothing has changed. Ooh, lemon tea. Finally noticing the scent and flavor of the tea, I smile at her. Then I pick my book back up. Eventually, the more love a person gives, the easier it is to find. My eyes land on a line on the page I opened at random, and my lips curl into a cynical smile reminiscent of Shiro-senpai. But still defied as I am, even negative emotions don't strike particularly deep. Ah, Sue, I love all of these words you use that I've never heard before in my life. I've gone through every book I borrowed. So here I am in the library to find something new to read. I've already read most of the donated books, but finding a new tome on the Home Economics and Domestic Sciences shelf, I take it down and look at the cover. The title reads Bread Making for Dummies. Below it, a subheading states that if this book can help you, then nothing will. When I open it up, I can see why. The instructions and images for various bread making methods are extremely simple and easy to follow.
祖父を思い出すわ。おじいさんを
Making bread yourself is actually a lot of fun. It's a very rewarding activity, I think. Because once it's actually baked and ready and cooled off and you can eat it, it's so satisfying to just like get a slice of bread you've made yourself. Because who's browsing for a book beside me turns to look at me.
ええ、父と違って祖父はパン党だったの。よく自分で焼いて
Fresh from the oven can make your stomach upset easily
焼きた
though.
てですごく美味しかった。へえ、一度食べてみたいわね。
I love waking up to the delicious scent of freshly baked bread wafting through the house each morning. The smell was so linked to memory. Suddenly recall Mayuri's citrusy scent and my heart clenches painfully in my chest. I turn away so she won't see my face, pretending to be engrossed in the book while I collect myself.
お前らも来てたのか。
Yes, we are. Thank you. Thank you for the positive check. And night time. No, we were going for braids for the rikka ending and now we're on pigtails. I mean, if the pigtails were lower, I guess we could have them count.
奇遇ね。
What a coincidence, we're all in the same school building. What? Even a familiar bat-like squeaks come to a stop before me. I raise my head.
ごきげんよう、二人とも。ごきげんよう。ってお前が挨拶したから私もする流れになっただろうが。
Yes. First crack today. Hideka-san lightly bats at Takasaki-san's knee like a cat might, and Takasaki-san pokes her in the hand in return.
ごきげんよう。二人は何を？ここは図書室だ。本を借りに来たんだよ。こいつのな。そう。読み終わってしまったから、新しい本を探しに来たの。高崎さんは何を読んでいたの？
She picks up the book resting atop Hideka-san's lap and reads out the title and author. The Makioka Sisters by Junichi... Junichi? Is that supposed to be an R? Oh, maybe it's Junichiro. Tanizaki.
随分と古い本を読むのね。
Yeah, that's supposed to be a Junichiro. It just swallowed the O. The Makioka Sisters, Tanizaki Junichiro. Follows the lives of the wealthy Makioka family. Where is it? Follows the lives of the wealthy Makioka family of Osaka from the autumn of 1936 to April 1941, focusing on the family's attempts to find a husband for the third sister, Yukiko. Depicts the decline of the family's upper middle class, suburban lifestyle, and suspect of World War II, an allied occupation hangs over the novel. Okay. Thank you, Wikipedia.
そうか。新しい作家の部類だと思うんだけどな。なあ、白羽。
So secretly eating the letters off to the end. She's like, I've already read every book in the fucking library. I need something new.
読んでおくべき作家だと思うわ。
Okay, I'll put it on the list. For you, so I'll put it on my list of never-ending books I want to read one day. I will do it right now. Makioka Sisters. If my library has it, I'll get it.
それじゃあ谷崎作品の中で白羽さんのおすすめは？私はそうね。春金賞かしら。お、こっちもメジャーなやつを選んだな。そうなの？っていうか、ささめゆきって代表作だったの？まずは一番有名どころからってね。白羽が挙げたのは中編作品だ。舞台化もされたし映画化もされたな。
I direct him toward a shelf that holds Tanizaki's works. It's under literature, then Japanese literature. This is where I said goodbye to Mayuri on the night of the play.
おい、
A sudden call catches me with my defenses down. My true feelings, which I've tried to keep hidden, are laid bare on my face. Seeing this, she glares first at me and then at Rikka-san.
こいつはずっとこんなままか。エリカさん。あの日からずっと変わらないままだろうが、委員長に任せようと思ってたが、まだこいつはこんなか。エリカ。おい、白羽。
She speaks over to me and gestures for me to lean down toward her. I face her, still trying to regain my composure.
お前はあの日、高坂が戻らないってことを私たちに告げた日、今と同じ顔をしていた。そんな顔をするくらいなら、今すぐあの人の元へ行って直訴すればいいって言ったよな。それは。そうだ。お前は高坂が望んでいないからと止めた。あいつが戻るまで待つと。私たちもしぶしぶ同意したよ。
She grips my shoulder, squeezing so tightly it hurts.
辛くてどうしようもないなら、飲み込むことはないんだ。夏に決心した時のように、また取り戻す算段をすりゃいいんだ。
Right. Back then, Erika-san was the one who gave me the kick up the butt I needed.
わがままを通してもいいのかもしれない。
But I...
白羽。お前がそんなだったら私は。そこまで。
A voice as sharp as a slap to the cheek cuts between us. Directing her words at Erika-san, Rika-san tells her again that that's enough.
お前が放っておいたからこんなことに。お願い、エリカさん。スオさんとマユリとのことは私に任せて。リッカさん。
A silence stretches out between them as their gazes meet. They exchange a wordless conversation. Erika-san is the first to look away.
分かったよ。委員長に預ける。私に任せてくれてありがとう。それともう一つ、ありがとうと言わせて。スオさんを心配してくれてありがとう。私、エリカさんの優しいところが大好きよ。恥ずかしいことを言うの。あ、私もエリカのことが大好きだからね。お前もここぞとばかりに恥ずかしいことを言うんじゃねえよ。
The tension lifts and we're back to the congenial mood from before. I let out a long but surreptitious sigh. Jesus Christ.
スオさん、今日話したいことがあるの。
Mammy Tia tells me with her usual smile. When was the last time we had a pajama party? She asks, pouring me a fresh cup of tea. I cast my mind back for the answer. Rika-san nods and holds the cup out to me.
ありがとう。夜だから寝つけるようにミルクティーにしたの。蜂蜜を少し入れているからコクが増しているはずよ。
Shiro is not losing the loving Erika competition. She's like, oh, are we talking about how much we love Erika? I'm here. Here we are, girls kissing, so true. I take a sip and I can indeed taste the depth of flavor below the sweet mellow milkiness. The effect is incredibly calming.
とても美味しいわ。よかった。入れたての熱いうちにマシュマロを入れると濃厚な泡立ちになるのよ。
I tell her we should try it next time and we fall into idle conversation. We talk about all kinds of things, ballet class, the food in the cafeteria, the animals who will start to show their faces around the grounds once spring arrives.
久しぶりにこんなにお話ししたわ。リッカさんはリカイアの会の子たちや先輩方ともよくおしゃべりしているじゃない。スオさんとよ、こんなに身になるお話をしたのは久しぶり。取り留めのないおしゃべりでしょ。スオさんとのお話はたわいないものでもすべて身になるのよ。
Smiling, she pours more tea for me and then for herself. She stirs each cup 3 times, the metal spoon tinkling pleasantly against the china.
さて、
The words signal a clear change of gear, and I know we're about to broach the main topic. But her voice fades and silence filters into the room like oil settling atop water. So silent that, were it not for the occasional gentle gust rattling the windows, I could believe the entire world had disappeared.
さて。
She repeats the words and turns to me with a gleam of determination in her eye and a smile on her face.
もう時期は過ぎてしまったけれど、 スオさんのお家って桃の節句のお祝いはするかしら？
ね、
ひな祭りよね。小さい頃はやっていたけど、大きくなってからあんまり。
In fact, it occurs to me now that we haven't celebrated it once since my birth mother passed away.
以前私が本家に養子に出されたことは話したわよね。花火師家では古来から行われている日本の伝統行事を重んじているの。さっき話した桃の節句や端午の節句、少し珍しいものとなると行進待ちや針供養とかね。
Okay. She takes a sip of her tea, then continues.
私は別段伝統行事を行うのが面倒だとか嫌いだとかはなかった。え、女の子の行事よね。目立つのが嫌だとか？そうではなくて、うちでは誕生日やクリスマスは祝わなかったから、その代替として桃の節句にプレゼントを渡されるの。お誕生日みたいにね。それならいいよね。たくさんのプレゼントをもらったわ。両手で抱えきれないほどに。ぬいぐるみだとかチーク玩具、クラスのみんなが読んでいて欲しかった漫画とかも。
I'm about to ask why then she disliked the day, but I swallow my words when I see the wretched look on her face.
でもね、次の桃の節句の時にその前の年にもらったおもちゃをすべて壊しなさいと言われたの。
What?
大人はその行為を巣離れと呼んでいたわ。大切に扱っていたぬいぐるみとハサミを持たされて泣いて嫌だと言った。でも端午の節句で兄も同じように壊しているのだと聞かされて、やらないわけにはいかなかった。だから泣きながら切って
That's so stupid.
裂いて壊した。
So stupid. Oh, look at this. We bought a bunch of things which we spent money on, and you clearly like them. So now, one year from now, destroy them by your own hand. Why?
するとね、おばあさまが進み出て、よくやりました。
Oh,
これでま
toys
た
more
一つ
appropriate
大
for
人
my
に
age.
近
Oh,
づき
that's
ました
no,
ね
no.
と言って年相応のおもちゃを私へ与えるの。
Everything I've learned about any of these girls' families has just been like more weird. Like every other story is just okay. I understand that they're better off just being here in the school because what the actual fuck. And then we celebrated the rest of Hinamatsuri as though nothing had happened. She finishes in a whisper. She gazes unseeingly down into her cup. She must be back in her memories of that time.
自分から選んだ紅茶の趣味はいくつになっても年齢に左右されないおもちゃとして認められたから壊さないで済んだ。
Oh man, Rikka.
リカさん。
When I lay my hand on her shoulder, she flinches, and then in the eyes she turns on me seem terribly young. But then she blinks a few times and she's back to herself.
ひどいわ、そんなことをされて。いいの、恨んでなんかないわ。あの家では巣離れは面々と受け継がれていた儀式、普通のことなの。
It is what it is. Well, it shouldn't never have been, and it sure shouldn't stay like that. What the hell?
だからって。
Unable to contain my anger, I try to tell her that just because it was accepted as normal within her family doesn't make it right, but she lays a gentle hand on my shoulder.
ねえスオさん、私はこの学院に来て一番嬉しくてほっとしたのは何も失わなくていいと知ったからなの。自分よりも強い力で有無を言わさず奪われなくて済むって。リカさん、私はあなたに救われたの。今の自分自身で良いと言われて背伸びすることはない。少しずつ大人になっていいのだって。だからね、エリカさんはマユリを取り戻せと言ったけれど、私はスオーさんが受け入れ まゆりが望んだのならそれが一番だと思うのよ。
We're still kids. We shouldn't be trying to act like adults, she says.
大人の真似。ええ、変わるということは成長よね。成長するというのは確かに聞こえが良いし正しいことかもしれないけれど、それは成長するための土台があって初めて良きことになるのではないかしら。まゆりの心が、土台がまだ出来上がってないとしたら、無理やり大切なものを奪って無理やり新しい大切なものを送ることにはならないのかしら。
The words resound in my heart like ripples spreading out from a droplet of water. Erika-san told me to go ahead and take what was important to me if I wanted so badly. But Erika-san is saying that such an action would only cause more hurt to the person I care about. In my mind's eye, I see an angry girl in a wheelchair and a girl clutching her new toys with tears in her eyes. And time heals all wounds, even faster when they're good times. My father's words suddenly pop into my head. When was it that he used that phrase? In the end, I decide. The fate of black. Fate to black. You know, the ancient Egyptians had a beautiful belief about death. When the souls got to the entrance to heaven, the guards asked 2 questions. The answers determined whether they were able to enter or not. Have you found joy in your life? And has your life brought joy to others? The bucket list. Okay, can't say I know that one. It's been a while since I last watched a movie, and those words from the bucket list really stuck with me. Has your life brought joy to others? I'm unable to answer yes with conviction. I want to be able to, but there are too many people I've brought grief to. Ichigo Sasaki, Ringo Sasaki, Erika Yaikaki, Chiruri Takasaki. When they left the academy behind with tears in their eyes, they told me I was foolish, and I agree with them. But I believe that only a fool can continue to love. And so, here it comes again. Another spring without Mayuri.
ごめんなさい、待たせてしまって。一人で温室の水やりを任せてしまったわね。いいえ、お花のお手入れは好きだし、以前バスキア教諭からも水やりが上手だって褒められたのよ。水やりが上手って下手な人なんていないでしょ。傘をさすのが上手くらい変な言葉だわ。
I pretend to be angry at her for a moment before we break down and giggles together. As novitiates, messing around like this would set a bad example to the students, but surely even God will let us off when it's just the two of us.
そういえば聞いた？片上寮長が新種の花を作り出したのだって。いえ、聞いていないわ。でもそれって。そう、ダリアの花よ。バスキア教諭も一緒になって試行錯誤してたって言うけど、すごいわよね。
I smile back at Rikka, and in that moment the desire to create a flower of my own blooms within me.
え？私たちもユリの花を新しく作り出すことはできないかしら。そんな。
I'm expecting her to say that we couldn't possibly, but instead, having inferred my intention, she gives me the same gentle, motherly smile she did when we first met.
そうね。新しいユリを作れたら素敵ね。
I feel her hand settle softly over my own, and our eyes meet, exchanging a silent understanding. There, in the warm light of her eyes, is the eternity we hope for. Oh! A painting of the blissful dream we seek hangs in a room that Rikka and I share. Me and Rikka and Mayuri, dressed in a uniform of Zane and Grekum Academy, holding hands and smiling in a field of shining bricks. Our own slice of heaven. A dream is yet unfulfilled, but I believe that if I keep on praying, if I keep on hoping, I believe that one day we will be as happy as we are in that picture. With the words carved into the back of the picture in my heart, I send a silent prayer up to God. I pray for the happiness of all those who have ever seen me as a friend, and I vow that I will always and forever love the precious amitié who is always by my side. Aww. They can't create that. For real. That's it. Do I have to watch this entire thing? Is this not the same scene as the one in the other? Okay. We are watching the credits again, I guess. Thank you for the pet! Obviously, I do have hands. That's true. So, Indika's ending, they both stay in school. Well, they stay at the school, not in school, but they stay at the school. God damn, you know, in the good end, the mother elder passes away. So Mayuri should be free from having to play her granddaughter, but I guess if you stay with Ika, she just keeps going. Just like, oh, normally it's only for a few weeks, at most like 6 months, and here Mayuri is like, oh, guess I'm playing this lady's granddaughter forever now. Yeah. Do I really have to have the credits run again a full time? Can I not skip this? No. Okay. Guess we're waiting then. We'll wait. And we'll wait. Music is good though. I love the music for these games. It's so nice. They also watched Dorothy and Family Tree House. So she's at. Oh, wait. I do have to admit that I am not as well versed in female voice actresses as I am in male voice actors. I am sorry. Flowers. Really? Yuri Nagatsuma. Oh yeah. Dorothea and Famlam. Characters in Octopath Traveler. Oh, several tall characters. Depending. Okay. Anything else that I know? Oh, someone in Pio Fiore. I have not read that one yet. Azure Lane, I don't play that. Grisaya, I haven't read that yet. Please. A character in the video game to Yuki Yuna. Okay, I never finished that show. A character.
Nani, Yuri?
That's the same scene again. A character in Selecta Spreadwicker. Oh! One of my favorite girlies in Tamako. Tamako Market, yeah! But it's been so long since I've seen that one, I would not have been able to tell. So I made the choice for myself instead of prioritizing my early decisions, like phone spam because then as a cope. Well, now I'm interested what the grand finale is gonna be like. Because now I should be able to just load up 1, 2, 3. This one. And go for this again. Yeah. We'll never be parted, you and I. Okay. It does work just like that. Okay, we can just immediately jump into it. We're finally settling back into a normal daily routine just as the early blooming cherry blossoms are starting to lose their luster and the academy's spring break is beginning. Mayuri wakes up earliest and washes her face and takes her time brushing her teeth and doing her hair before putting on her uniform. Then she wakes Dika-san, who isn't a morning person. It's It's the same routine I bore witness to every day back in spring. Since Rikka-san has gotten used to me being the one waking her, she often says my name in a sleepy voice. Sometimes Mayuri plays along, waking her up by imitating me, something like, "Come on, I want you to make tea for me, Rikka-san." Once we're all ready, we head to the cafeteria. After saying grace, we tuck into breakfast, and afterwards we get stuck into our homework. Before being assigned homework over the break, whether we're part of the group going home for the vacation or the group staying in the dorms. Still, it's not an overwhelming amount, and if we knuckle down and get our work out of the way in the mornings... We're able to spend our afternoons however we please. And so today finds us all gathered in Isnik. Sure is. We've decided to spend this afternoon sorting out the paperwork for all the council's projects, which is built up over the term. Ruled.
本拠地って悪人のアジトじゃないんだから。もしかしてエリカさんへの当てつけかしら。今彼女はいないじゃないか。なんというか、
A little.
八代先輩の色みたいなものがそう言わせるというか。わかりますですよ。言い得て妙ってやつだね。
Rikka-san and her two helpers come into the room with the tea.
おっと、これはユリの分と私の。これは私とりっちゃんさんの分です。
Sasaki sisters place the teacups down on the table.
スオさんには私が入れるわね。
She takes an empty cup and pours the tea into it with great skill. The scene takes me back to last spring.
そいつを見るのも久しぶりだ。最近はもうカップに入れて運んでくるしね。
Rikka-san bluntly responds that Susan is special and everyone knows.
それで2回の会のお仕事はだいぶ進んだのですか？新年度早々にある行事については前倒しで準備を進めておいたから大きなものは残っていないの。それでは今している作業は？大きいのは済んでいても細々としたものは溜まっているの。例えばクラブの備品の申請書とか。
Rikka-san glances over at me and I wave the papers I've been checking over to make sure there are no big discrepancies on the proposed budget.
なんというか分かってはいたけど、リッカとスオは本当にニカイアの会の会長と副会長なんだね。
We had a lot going on while you were off God knows where.
何よ急に。リッカは面倒見が良かったし勉強もできたからなんとなく副会長っていうのも腑に落ちるけど、スオが会長っていうのはおかしいかしら。いや、そんなことはないけれど。
I instinctively duck my head as she stares intently at me sitting behind the president's desk.
知らないっていうのは恐ろしいことだね。本当ですよ。ユリは復学したばかりだから知らないかもだけど、スオちゃん期末試験で全教科トップだよ。会長になるためには全校生徒のほとんどから支持されないとダメ。つまりスオちゃんは今や学院一の人気者なのですよ。
My uni's eyes are growing wide and wide as the twins rave about me, and I can feel my own face getting hotter and hotter.
確かに人気があるっていうのは思い当たる節がある。
She says seriously, arms folded, and adds that she's noticed that everyone says hi to me when we go to the cafeteria.
以前と違って物おじしない感じになったもんな。ですです。もともと学院一の美人さんなのですから、愛想が良くなれば敵なしですよ。もうやめて。
I duck my head, face flaming from the compliments, and wait for them to move on to another topic.
モテるといえば、まだスオが何か？スオちゃんもだけど、りっちゃんも人気あるよね。
Although we're still on the same topic, I'm relieved that the target has shifted.
確かにりっちゃんさんもモテますね。単純な人気だけを言えばスオちゃん以上かもですよ。
Maybe actually, because Rikka has always been like an approachable person. She seems very down to earth, she's open to everyone, she's always been helping people out. Like you could have You could always talk to her now that she's the vice president. It's just like, oh yeah, hi, hi.
うちのアミティは2人ともすごいんだな。
Evening.
単におせっかいなだけよ。それで相談を受けているってだけ。最近は上級生にもファンが増えてるって話だけど。
Evening, making things even. Hell yeah. If you're talking people who have a more personal interest in her, there's always Guy, she says with an impish grin.
つわぶきさんですか。確かに。
確かに。
つわぶきさんって？夏に転入してきたつわぶきちかさん。2階屋の階では庶務を任されているのよ。
Explain who she is and Mayuri murmurs her recognition.
それで何が確かになんだい？
She has a massive crush on Rikka.
何？自分から振っておいてなんだけど、スオちゃんもだけど、りっちゃんも大概鈍感だよね。ディス。なんとなく察したよ。
Mayuri nods. I tell her that Rikka-san is the one who recommended Tsubabuki-san for the council role.
確かに私が推薦したけれど、庶務になったのは彼女の実力よ。殺傷も卒がないし、小さなところまで気が回るし、推薦してよかったわ。確かにこりゃ誤解されそうだ。つわぶきさんも熱心ですが、最近合唱部のほかまみずき先輩もずいぶん仲がいいと。両手に花か。まあ名前に2つ花が入っているものな。
Friends laugh at Mayuri's joke, but I'm not quite sure how I feel about it.
今の言い方ってなんだかゆずりは先輩を思い出すね。
It's been a while since I last heard that name. It feels like I'm slowly forgetting something important. Having sorted through the documents without issue, I come to the library to borrow a book.
あら、白羽さん。それにみんなも。なんだ、今日は当番じゃないだろう。
Irika-san and Takasaki-san greet us from where they've taken up camp by the shelf of donated books.
皆さんお揃いで仲がいいのね。
Sister Basquiat pokes her head out from behind the shelf and smiles at us.
どうにもまだ間合いというか。
Well, to be fair, Sue, I think normally she only had to get involved with like one girl. And the whole story now, there's like half her class, what feels like half her class, who knows all about the Mother Elder and everything that happened there. I don't think it's gonna be closed that easily.
トリア先生も一緒だったんだ。こっちも両手に花だったんだね。こっちも？ま、一つはトゲ付きだけど。
And Takasaki-san protests, Sister Basquiat gently warns her not to raise her voice in the library. I watch her, still unsure how I should interact with her now.
もうわだかまりはないはずなのだけど。
While I don't distrust her, it's like we've regressed back to where we were in spring, and I find myself unwilling to strike up a conversation with her.
あれだけのことがあったわけだし、時間が必要よね。
You would never be able to pronounce her sister's name? Basquiat?
それで、お前らは何の用だ？白羽は委員の日じゃないだろう。ええ、借りていた本が読み終わったので、返しに来たのと、また借りに。
Let's go with that. Irika-san nods satisfied, and I ask her the same question.
私も以下同文ってやつだが。八重垣さんに偶然会ったので、面白い図書はないか聞いていたの。
Recommendations.
寄贈本の中にはバスキア教諭に合いそうな本がなかったから、私のを貸そうかって話になったところだったんだ。
So many books and there's nothing suitable? What do you mean?
ブラックダリアとか？バスキア教諭にあれは目の毒だ。他の面白い本を見つくろうよ。千鳥も大変だね。エリカの趣味に付き合わされてるんでしょ？まあそうだけど、今まであまり本に触れてこなかったから新鮮で面白いわよ。勧められる本はみんな面白いし。
Well, I have more trouble with French for sure. I have more trouble with languages that are just not pronounced the way they're written. I will admit that. Like, why would you use this many letters in a word if you're not going to actually say half of them?
へえ、私的にもリンゴから勧められるけど、どれも怖いやつだしな。怖い本、興味深いわね。
Not having interest in books is a stinger. Yeah. Me either. Me neither. It's like, never in my life have I not liked reading. I've had my ups and downs where it's like, you know, sometimes you just feel like, oh god, I don't know, none of the books I have in front of me really sound interesting right now. But then I don't know, do something else for a while. But there's never been a moment where I'm like, not interested in books. It's just like sometimes you're just like, oh, I'm in the mood for something very specific and you need to find that. But most other times I'm just like, I've amassed such an amount of books. I just pick one up that sounds good, or I like the cover at the first glance, and then I just go into it. And if it really is not to my liking, okay, whatever. I have a bunch of others. But the whole, oh no, I'm not interested in reading. You don't like finding out more information? You don't like, okay, you don't like fantasy. One of my coworkers is not into non-fiction. Other way around, into fiction. He only reads non-fiction books. Which is like, okay, sure, if that's what you like. Me personally, I do prefer fiction. But still, we both like reading, we both like learning about new things.
興味があるなら貸し出しますですよ。
As I watch Takasaki-san chatting with the twins, I think to myself how much she's changed.
お前は秘蔵本とかないのかよ。
エリカさんとは趣味が近いからかぶっているような気がするわ。
これも以下同文だな。図書室に置いてあるようなやつは大体読んでるしな。
それって
詩とかね。
Poetry? I'm surprised that she's never tried reading poetry before. Telling her that it's a good choice, I flipped through my mental post-it notes for something to recommend to her. Then I hear the word Iberis, and a gust of wind blows through my brain, scattering my notes.
そうですか。気落ちしているだろうと思って。気丈な方ですから。でもあなたが顔を出してくれるならイベリス様も喜ぶと思いますよ。
It's a private conversation between the two of them, a conversation only they will understand.
私が顔を見せることで傷ついているのではないですか。初めはそうだったかもしれません。自分の娘が帰ってきたような。でも今は代替ではない高坂さん個人として年の離れた友人だと思っているはずです。そうなんです。あの人は根はいい人なのですが気難しいところがあるので。
They laugh softly as though some part of the conversation is amusing.
面白くないな。
Hideki-san whispers to me. She's come up beside me and is glaring at the two, engaged in their intimate conversation.
あいつにはいつも出し抜かれている気がする。おい、高坂。
なんだい？
図書室で大きな声を出すもんじゃない。
ああ、そうだね。知らず声が大きくなっていたかも。
それにここでは本を借りるもんだぞ。
Erika getting on her case every chance she gets is like, yep. It feels like, I mean, Sue is a very forgiving person. Sue is like, okay, well, I have her now. We can hang out again. And Erika's like, no. Listen. This girl, I'm still mad at her.
それもそうだ。それじゃあ、八重垣さんが選んでくれないかな。
She leans forward like an eager puppy nosing up to a grumpy cat. Erika's-san gestures her head, looking irritated.
やっぱりお前は苦手だ。
今の会話で嫌われるようなことあったかな。
うるさい。私は気に入ったやつにしか本を選ばないんだよ。
Damn.
そんな。
どうしてもって言うなら。
何？
明日はお前らが朝の食事当番だろ。私をうならせるような朝食を用意してみろ。
I'm sure Erika-san was joking when she said it, but Mayuri eagerly agreed that it was a deal, and now here we are making 2 dishes instead of the usual one. Oh, yeah!
確かまずはお湯を沸かすのよね。
I get how Shirana had been feeling when she first saw Chidori.
リッカさん、その前に野菜をカットから始めないと。
Why is the water bubbling so much?
大丈夫だよ。もう火はつけてある。準備万端だ。
湯だって危ないから、まずは野菜をカットから。ね。
落ち着こうみんな。ミネストローネだからトマトは使う。
For breakfast? Ooh. I feel a sense of deja vu. The sensation gives me pause. It was minestrone back then too, wasn't it?
どうしたんだい？今は考えるよりも実行。手を動かすだよ。
その前に手順をおさらいしないと。まゆり、もう一品って何を作るんだっけ？
ジャーマンポテトだよ。私のおすすめだ。美味しいんだよこれが。
What do you mean German fries? Huh? We already have our hands full with the minestrone. Can we really handle another dish on top of that? Dish on top of that? What the fuck are German fries?
多分エリカさんは一品だけでもすごいって言ってくれると思うけど。
Sorry, hold on. German fries? Bratkartoffeln. That's called German fries in English, really? I see. Yeah, literally fried potatoes. I've never heard of those referred to as German fries, but okay. But once again, for breakfast?
私も以前好評を博したミネストローネだけでもいけるとは思うよ。
She remembers too.
ジャーマンポテトは思い出の味なんだ。ぜひみんなに食べさせてあげたい。
All I can do is not in the face of her determination.
そういうなら。ねえ、ポテトってこれだけ剥けばいいの？早い。こんな短時間で？
おお、春の時とは見違えたね。
料理部のスオーさんには負けるけれど、お茶会でクッキーとかは焼いているしね。少しは上達したのよ。
I don't think peeling vegetables is a big part of baking. It must be another one of her natural talents. I watched Rika-san cheerfully mincing a tomato and Mayuri as they banter back and forth.
ニンニクの匂いってそそるよな。冬は体が温まるし、美味しいし、いいことずくめの食材じゃない？
食べた後、お口が匂わなければね。
It's like nothing's changed between the three of us. A warm fuzzy feeling tickles my insides and a giggle escapes my lips.
どうしたの？
おかしいところなんてあった？
そうね。でもなんだかやっと私たちが春の頃に昔に戻ったみたいで。
Seeing me unable to suppress my giggles, my tea partners look at one another and grin.
バカだな。昔と一緒なんかじゃないよ。
そうよ。前よりずっと仲良しだし、こんなに息が合うじゃない。
She tosses a chunk of potato into the pot Mayuri set to the boil.
そうね。春よりも腕が上がったってところを見せてあげましょう。
You can ward off vampires with stinky smell. True. Feeling as invigorated as I do waking up to a balmy spring morning, I apply the skills I found at the cookie club to the ingredients before me. They were like, you know what, we didn't give you enough CGs yet, so here's a bunch in the ending. After saying grace.
いい匂い。2品も作るなんてやるわね。
The breakfast we made is laid out as a main dish and a side. Listening to the effusive praise of the dish's appearance is enough to make me blush. But it does look
以前
nice.
食べた時と同じく美味しいですね。
Still, it feels too heavy for breakfast to me, but whatever.
これが変わらぬ味よ。
味は上達してもいいんだぞ。ミネストローネは前と同じだな。さて、こいつは。
I'm trying to figure out what it is they put in here with the potatoes. Like, sure, potato, onion slice, but did they just straight up like take some sausages they put in there? I think so, maybe.
どう？
オリーブオイルは多めに入れて、ニンニクとコンソメで味付けしたのか。ブラックペッパーを少し振っているのもいいな。
やった！美味しいって。
いいや、まずくらいの。
よかった。アリウム様に教えてもらったんだ。子供たちが大好きだったって。
そうかい。これがバスキア家の家庭の味ってわけだ。
As she savors the taste, Idika-san realizes that all eyes are not on her, awaiting her verdict.
まあ合格だよ。認めてやってもいい。
やった。
はいはい。でも、なんでそんなに執着するんだ。
She wants to be your friend
ほんのおすすめくらい
too.
白羽に聞けばいいだろうが。
Idika.
前にスオが言ってたんだ。八重垣さんは優しくてかっこよくてとてもすごい人だって。マユリ、アミティエが認める人に認めてもらいたいって思ったんだ。
In response to Mayuri's forward answer, Idika-san mutters an acknowledgement and quickly stuffs her mouth full of fries and carries on eating with her head down.
思い出って言えばそろそろ考えなくちゃだね。
Oh, what?
急に話題が飛ぶわね。何のこと？千鳥もした思い出作りだよ。
I did. She cocks her head in confusion and Ichika-san points at me.
誕生日だよ。お誕生日会。そうちゃんはまだなんだよね。
Oh?
そういえば考えてみるとスオさん3月生まれだから一番最後になるのよね。お誕生日会。
Celebrated everyone else's birthday, but I never gave a thought to my own.
誕生日ね。お前たちならサプライズで驚かそうとか企画するかと思ってたよ。
驚かすのは好きだけどサプライズは前に失敗しちゃってるからさ。クラスで大々的に祝った方が楽しいですよ。ありがとう。春休み中でクラスみんなでお祝いできないのは残念だけど、でもこの感じなら寮に残ってる上級生たちも誘って盛大にやってもいいんじゃないかな。
So watch my friends discussing their ideas.
この学院へ来てよかった。
From the bottom of my heart, I'm truly thankful. Before I came here, I was always so alone. I felt like I was going around in circles, constantly worrying over whether I'd be able to make friends. If I could go back in time and speak to that girl who walked so fearfully along the dark path toward the academy.
こんなにも素晴らしい友達と
Yeah. As the others all excitedly discuss my birthday, I look to my MIT partner's thoughtful faces and think of the summer. And of that wonderful summer day.
ねえ、マユリ、リッカさん、私、二人へお願いがあるの。
My request to my MIT partners was for the same thing Idika-san once gave to Takasaki-san and Takasaki-san to Idika-san.
アミティエに捧げる歌。
Despite there not being much time left until my birthday, both Mayuri and Ika-san readily agreed to compose a song with me. They're in charge of the lyrics, and I'm composing the music. While there's a sense of time pressure, I so enjoy the act of creating music as a trio that I become completely absorbed in it. I work on my vacation homework and council duties until lunchtime, then I dedicate the afternoon to composing. I've done it once before, but that doesn't mean it's any easier this time. Again and again I dip my cloth into my inner well of inspiration, then wring out every last drop until it's dry. Then, just as I'm reaching the crest of the creative mountain, I have an unexpected visit.
久しぶりだね。
Bruh. A calm, casual voice echoes throughout the space. A silver-haired
素敵な
optimist
曲だわ。
and a golden-haired pessimist.
会いに来てくれると 思っていました。
口説きの文句としては最高の入り方だよ。
Hey, that haircut still looks fucky. Your fringe, girl.
私も会いたかったのよ、白羽さん。
Did you know? Yuzuriya Yatsushiro Nini ne Komikado. It's been so long since I last saw the former president and vice president of the Council of Nicaea. There's a strange sense of unreality to the pair now. Drenched in the crimson light falling through the stained glass windows, they're both so beautiful they barely seem human.
一度顔を出しておくべきだと思ってね。
白羽さんには随分と意地悪をしてしまったから。
You sure were. Protesting that I don't think they were, I do. I find my throat drier than I expected. My voice comes out raspy and a cough follows.
大丈夫。まだ消えたりしないよ。
はい、ゆっくりと飲んで。
She pours me a glass of water from the nearby jug and passes it to me. It's only when I take a sip that I realize how thirsty I am. I feel a cool liquid moisten my stomach, slide down my throat and settle in my... Moisten my mouth, slide down my throat and settle in my stomach. There we go. Short hair. Hold on. Nope. Nope. There we go. Thank you.
ありがとうございます。いいのよ。おかわりは？
大した集中力だ。喉が渇いているのに気づかないくらいなんだからね。
As they talk to me with a synchronicity. It's not... It almost seems orchestrated. I start to feel like I've slipped into a fairy tale world. If I'm Alice, which one of them is the white rabbit?
大丈夫です。本当に久しぶりですね。
Synchronicity.
実際のところは、
Yes,
付近に立っているわけではないけれど、随分と懐かしい。
Casually moistens my stomach.
なかなか会えない親戚に会うみたいに。
Knowing exactly what they mean, I nod. I ask them whether it's okay for them to be out and about here in broad daylight.
僕たちはお尋ね者だからね。その心配はもっともだ。
Are you?
でも平気よ。ここを離れようと決めているから。離れる？まさか本当にやめてしまわれるのですか？
For some reason, this causes them to exchange a smile with one another.
ねえ、言った通りでしょ？
ああ、君の勘は外れたことがない。
八代先輩。
My questioning tone brings a cynical smile to her face.
何？ネリーと賭けをしたのさ。我が死が別れに胸を痛めてくれるかどうかをね。
そんな、当たり前です。
They didn't actually graduate because they vanished before the proper graduation. That's the thing.
君たちを害しようとしたのに？
そんなこと関係ありません。ねえ、白羽さんならきっと許してくれると言ったでしょ。
Maybe you should go see a proper hairstylist next time you want a haircut. Nodding, Yatsushiro Senpai's features soften. Then she walks up to me and hugs me tightly.
八代先輩。
今まで僕は余計なことばかりしていたが、ただ一点、君を二階屋の会の会長になるように仕向けたのは軽眼だった。
あのことがなかったとしても、譲り派はあなたを後継者にと考えていたのよ。そうだったの。
今日一日、ここと決別するために学院の方々を歩いて回ったよ。
学院のどこを歩いても、1年前の私たちが顔を覗かせるようだった。
僕はね、すごく場所や人は目じゃない、温かさや匂いで覚えたいんだ。一度見たら忘れられない性分だから、目じゃなく心に。
She squeezes her arms even tighter around me. I can feel her warmth and smell the scent of lilies.
よし、これだけ味わえば忘れることはない。
八代先輩、もう聖アングレカム学院には戻ってくることはない。けれどあなたのことは、あなたたちのことは絶対に忘れないわ。コミカド先輩。
みんなへのさよならは君から伝えてくれ。ああ、それと 殴られたことは忘れてないってバスキア一族のあの人へ伝えてくれ。
さようなら、白羽さん。あなたと会えて。
Easily and casually dropping the fact that she got hit up, like who she got hit over the head by.
さようなら、スオ君。
Almost.
君がいつまでも幸せであるために。
I don't remember that in completely, that I could actually go with full what's the word? Confidence? Who it was, but that's great. Yay. With those last goodbyes, they're gone. Yet I don't hear the words of partings as a final farewell. But within my chest there burns a certainty. I'll see them again someday. You know, if you guys use your fucking phones, because this game is clearly not set that far into the past, you could have exchanged phone numbers and gone, hey, let's talk again. So there's no need to cry. Yet I can't stop the tears from falling. Confidence. March 16th. My birthday. There have been years when my birthday has been celebrated, and years when it's been ignored completely. As far as I'm concerned, the day I add another year to my age is neither a positive event nor a negative one. I don't feel bad when it's forgotten, and when it's remembered, I simply smile for the sake of the person who's celebrating on my behalf. This year, having celebrated the birthdays of my fellow classmates since enrolling at St. Anglicum Academy, I understand. Celebrating a birthday isn't just about marking the transition from one year of your life to the next. It's a blessing that honors the people you're with and the time you have together. Confidence is German fries all over again. You've never heard of it before? I want to cherish what I have in the here and now. I want to cherish the fact that I'm alive in this moment here at St. Anglicum Academy. A whisper is clearly audible in the silent chapel.
その言葉って、ああ、聞こえてたんだね。つい聖堂のキリスト様を見るとね。
It's the same words she wrote on the back of the painting. Believing that those words were Mayuri's cry for help, I was able to forge my way forward. And the true meaning behind them was...
その言葉って、今となっては理解できるけれど、学院長もマザーエルダーを指した言葉なのよね。
Facing the piano, Mayuri smiles and tells us yes. But it's not the gentle, sunny smile I know her for.
それも本当の一つ。天に行われるごとく、地に行われるように。これは、神の御心は天上で行われるように。ええ、だから、神の御心がマザーエルダーなのでしょ?
Stepping up to the piano, I open the lid and brush my fingers over the keys.
マユリが告げていた意味の一つはそう。でも、もう一つは違うの。
I speak directly to her.
絵画に記されてた一節に、本来あるはずの言葉、御心がという語句が抜けているの。本来ならば、御心が天に行われる通り、地にも行われますように。
Without thy will, it no longer refers to God. So without God, what might it refer to? I finally understand. I know what Mayuri was trying to tell me.
御心が抜かれた天に行われる通り、地にも行われますように。神は抜かれ、誰にも支配されず、自分の思った通りに生きること。それって、
Like in spring, the emotions that so tortured Mayuri Kosaka. Questions she agonized over, the reason she branded herself abnormal. Is it wrong to love another girl?
いけなくなんてない。人が人を好きになる気持ちは止められない。
Miami tear like spring sunshine.
やっぱりスオンにはかなわないな。
There's that smile I so love.
ねえ、マユリ、スオさん、歌いましょう。私たちの素直な言葉は、思いは、すべて歌に詰め込んだのだから。
I pull out the stool, sit before the piano, and rest my fingers atop the keys. Before I came to the academy, I hated this instrument so much I trembled before it. Yet now it feels so dear to me. Now to coax from it is music that connects us.
始めましょう。
Let's begin. Who needs subtitles anyway? Oh, what? Ooh! I think there should have been a scene there, maybe. I feel like maybe there should have been a credit scene playing there with the actual song. Is that one of those things that's once again broken? Yeah. Why did it skip over the credit? Right? It should. Let's try it. Oh, runtime error. Oh no. And now the game closed. Right. Okay. Ah, the credit sequence is broken. That's why. It's. Oh no. Also, Hiver. Hold on. No. Ending movie? Let me see if I can find it. This is stupid. What do you mean? Okay, hold on. Oh no, hold on. Let me see if I can fix that. Yeah, almost. That's almost where I want it to be. We're just gonna... Yeah, it's a video. Yeah, I know. I don't know why it didn't work, but we're just gonna watch it on YouTube real quick. We deserve that. Oh, that's so stupid. Also, Barry, technically I need to give you back. I need to refund you that saving because we literally just got the ending. No more flowers. You know, in my head I was thinking, could that really be designed? But it actually is. Katakana is, yeah. Design. Where's Paul to win? Well, since this is seems to be the Japanese credits, I don't think Paul to win is gonna be in that one. Better not be. Very safe for there, right? Hell yeah. Woo! Which means I can now start up the game again. Just to check what else we missed out on. Sorry, 1 second. Okay, so we are not allowed to look at that movie. We are, however, allowed to look at this, which immediately gives us, ooh, sound bugs. God damn it. Oh, but I'm still missing one. I'm still missing a CG. Fascinating. I wish the music wouldn't be doing that. Hold on. That is very unfortunate. Stop. Stop. Would be easy if you knew all girls are named after flowers. Probably. To be honest, a lot of the times, especially the very beginning, the mysteries, I'm just like, who in their right mind would come up with that? Like, follow along with the actual reasoning that Suo gives, because like, girl, huh? I don't know half the books they talk about all the time. I still haven't unlocked the Yonkoma because I'm missing that one scene. Are you for fucking real? Genuinely? Okay, hold on. I just want to look at funny little four panel comic. Okay, whatever.
Orientation to ともかく
Well, let's choose all of the other choices here then.
だからみんなが
Let's see what is the difference here then.
そう最近今の寒い時期だから心配し
Let's see.
待て待て、今日以前こいつ本調子では危うくる。
Oh, I think I hear my stepmother playing piano. The melody filters into my ears through the haze of sleep. The sound is imbued with emotion, as though she's channeling her raw, unvarnished feelings through the keys. It's my daily alarm clock. After my father remarried and my stepmother moved into the house, she practiced morning, noon, and night, never missing a session. My father spent a lot of money soundproofing a room for her, and so she played without reserve, her early morning piano sessions rousing us from sleep every day. Then my father, stepmother, stepbrother, and I would share a quiet breakfast together. Those halcyon days didn't last for long. The problems began the day my stepmother realized I was better at the piano than my stepbrother. No, that wasn't it. Maybe it was when her illness began to affect her fingers. The morning melody took an ominous tone for me. As my stepmother's mental health declined, my father started avoiding the house, and my stepbrother looked at me with resentment in his eyes. Soon the sound became a bell that told the start of another day of melancholy, a bell beckoning me to another one of the lessons that were gradually destroying me. The sound of the piano abruptly stops. Footsteps slowly approached my room. My stepmother was a small, thin woman, but her footsteps those mornings always rang unnaturally loud. Tap, tap, tap. Each footstep seeming to punctuate the malice written on her heart. The menacing footsteps stopped outside the door to my room. Eyes squeezed tightly closed, not making a sound, I screamed silently for someone to save me. But my father is so far away, my dead mother even further. Then who can I call on to help me? My grandfather? Right, perhaps he could. As the door creaks open, the idea of my grandfather coming to my rescue crumbles, pieces scattering from my mind. The footsteps squeak across the floor, approaching my bed. I'm wide awake now, but I keep my eyes shut, willing myself to go back to sleep. In the darkness, the footsteps stop, and then the vivid feeling of a hand on my shoulder jolts me up. My heart pounds in my chest, my entire body is drenched in sweat. I can still feel the lingering presence of a digit.
Yo, Erika-san.
Hi! Ooh, ooh. That's right. I stared at her in confusion for a long moment, taking in the sight of her frozen with her hand outstretched. She awkwardly withdraws her hand.
ノックはしたぜ。
She says by way of explanation.
約束の時間だってのに返事がないから勝手に部屋に入っちまったが、ずいぶんうなされているみたいだったからさ。起こしてくれたのね。余計なお世話だったか？助けてくれたのだもの。私のヒーローだわ。
Her face flashes momentarily.
聞こえなかった。誰のおかげだって。エリカさんは私のヒーローだわ。
I repeat it because she really is my savior, rescuing me from the clutches of my stepmother.
そこはヒーローじゃなくヒロインが良かった。
She grumbles good-naturedly as I stand up from my chair. Blood rushes to my head and I sway slightly, causing Erika-san to ask me if I'm alright.
平気よ。ありがとう。昼食をとってすぐ昼寝とはいいご身分だ。本を読んでいたらうとうととしてしまったのね。エリカさんが来るまで読みながら待っていようと思ったのだけれど。
She scratches her head, acknowledging that she's late. Then she looks around the room.
委員長はいないみたいだな。
She asks.
ええ、前に話した通り、今日の反則日は御用があるそうなの。
A look of relief crosses her face at my confirmation, and she mutters that she wouldn't want her to overhear us.
リッカさんが聞いてもきっとからかわないわ。
Talking about?
まあそうだろうが、なんというか母親に日記を読まれているような気分になる。気恥ずかしい。
Her face contorts into a grimace.
前に話したやつは見通しが立った。もう一つの相談に乗ってくれるか？
Mm-hmm. She asks me. It's not long since she was last here seeking my counsel. I better tell you what I came to see you about in the first place. Her face flushed, Erika informs me that she was here to ask for advice on what to do for Takasaki-san's birthday. Takasaki-san celebrated hers before, and Erika-san is a firm believer in repaying favors. As she puts it, a world without a sense of duty would be a dark place indeed. Taking into account the fact that February 1st was fast approaching, I came up with an idea. Oh, we're getting this? Okay,
お
background
前が
info.
勧めてくれた通り、手袋はだいぶ編み上がったよ。
Okay, that's sweet. I suggested that she knit something for her métier partner.
もう出来上がりそうなの。編み物が上手だって聞いていたけれど、本当に得意なのね。まあな。そういや、以前聞きそびれたが。何？私が編み物が得意だって誰？
When I tell her it was Takasaki-san, she covers her face with her hands, groaning that she didn't want to spread around.
たまたま編み物の話になった時に聞いたから。
Why not? It's a nice hobby to have.
なら、まあいいとしておこうか。
I haven't knit in ages. She grumbles to herself, tapping her forehead. She's so sweet.
で、もう一つの相談事なんだが。何？手袋のプレゼントだけじゃ少し寂しいような気がしてさ。一つ料理でも振る舞ってやろうと思うんだ。とてもいい考えだわ。そうか。で、料理は食べる方が専門で、作るのは門外漢なんだ。料理部のエースに一つご指導を賜れないかと思ってね。
Excitedly, I take her hand in mine and tell her I'd be delighted. Irika-san looks a little startled, but thanks me in a whisper.
それじゃあ早速、安息日の今日学びましょう。高崎さんに美味しいケーキを食べてもらいたいものね。
Oh, that's cute.
料理がお誕生日ケーキなのは決まってるんだな。
Irika-san mutters to herself as I lead her by the hand toward the cooking classroom. The process for making whipped cream is simple but profound. You do are an expert in eating. I'm not. All you need is fresh heavy cream and granulated sugar. To chill the mixing bowl, you can set it in a bigger bowl filled with ice water. Keeping the cream cool as you whip it is important as it stops the fat from separating and turning the mixture grainy. Tilt the bowl as you whip, moving the whisk from side to side as you do so. The cream will stiffen and gradually start to form soft peaks. The trick is to draw circles with your whisk. This helps to fold air into the cream as it thickens. Then, when you can lift the whisk, let the peaks hold for a second or two before they fold back into the mixture.
あとはデコレーションするだけだよな。
Well, maybe don't slap it on.
やや固まった今の状態でスポンジの壁面を塗るの。キューブ立ての状態になって初めて生クリームの完成よ。
Hell yeah.
上のデコレーションまではもうちょいかかるってわけか。
I giggle as Irika-san sticks a finger into the bowl, scoops out a blob of cream, and licks it off.
味見だよ。行儀は悪いが練習。
Slap that
いいだ
cream.
ろ。
What was it? Hold on. What was that thing that Yuzuriya said in her game about the whipped cream? That caught me so fucking off guard. Hold on. It's somewhere in all of my screenshots of that game. Give me a second. Then it's back to whip some more creamy ass. Yeah, I still have that screenshot.
そうじゃなくて、八代先輩を思い出したの。
Wow. What a classic. You know, for how much use I get out of Girl, Your Spine is in Shambles in actual, literal daily life, the quote itself doesn't come up in the quote board nearly as often as I would like it to.
先輩を？ええ、以前八代先輩も小見門先輩の誕生日を祝うためにケーキ作りの指導を私に頼んで、スポンジまでは私が教えたのだけど、生クリーム作りはいちごさんたちが教えていたわ。八代先輩たちが作っているのを盗み見してたってわけだ。
She circles her hands around her eyes like binoculars, but when I nod, her jocular smile fades.
お前らしくない。なんとなく見守っていた方がいいと思ったの。いちごさんたちの腕を信用してないわけではなくて。さすが探偵。その頃からあいつらの関係を見抜いていたってわけか。
I shake my head. It was only a feeling. All I had to go on at the time was the sense of tension I felt between the three of them.
悪い。嫌味な言い方だったな。そんなことないわ。
We're the only ones using the kitchen. For a while we say nothing, the silence coagulating between us like thick jelly. What the fuck? They're really killing me tonight. I bought a game. Sorry, I need to talk about this real quick. I bought a game recently because it was on sale. 2 games, actually. One of them called Proses and Codes, and the other one Poems and Codes, which is about ciphers. And like they give you quotes from different books, whatever, and then the ciphers. And I played that one for the first time today. And at some point you just, or at least maybe you start losing your mind. You think you've like run through every single 3-letter word that the English language has to give you to try and find out at least like a few more letters. You've gone through and, are, has, who, had, whatever, only to give in and like get a tip from the game and be like, wow, there's 2 D's in this entire fucking 4-row sentence. Thank you for the tip. A fun game, but also I had some words in there where I thought, what the fuck are those? If you and your besties aren't coagulating together, what's the point? Why do it? I don't even know what that means. What does that word mean? Coagulating. And why is Google telling me that that's not English? Hold on. Coagulieren. Oh, thanks. Thank you, Google. That's helpful. Thicken, widen, coagulate, strengthen, makes it. Yeah, okay. I see. And my blood does the opposite of that all the time. Very thin blood. I bleed easily and I bleed for a very long time. My blood is very bad at coagulating. What the fuck? The only sound is a soft thump on the whisk against the sides of the bowl. Hello, Humpty. Good evening.
春の自分から考えると、こうしてお前と2人で仲良く料理を作っているのが現実感のない夢のように感じるよ。何かの拍子に冷めちまうような泡の夢に。
I should say something in response, but I stay silent. I know she's waiting for me to say something, but the words are stuck in my throat. Erika-san pauses in her whisking to pin me with her gaze, then she flashes me a sardonic smile that reminds me of Yatsushita-senpai. I'm good, how are you?
なあ、白羽。楽しく人生を生きる秘訣ってやつは知り
That
たくない
emergence of you. My skin is not good with like any type of band that I've tried out either, so it's always like, would I like the bleeding to continue, or would I like my skin to be absolutely itchy and scratchy after I've put on the band-aid to stop it from bleeding?
知りたいわ。単純な話だよ。正
She's
直に
chilling.
生きる。
That's good. Smiling bashfully, she scratches her nose.
天の弱な私に言われてもピンとこないだろうが、結局のところそいつが一番重要だ。我慢して生きていたっていいことなんて何もないんだよ。エリカさん、委員長もお前も何か抱えているようだけれどな。頼ってくれていい。処置仲間なんだ。お互い様で行こうぜ。
Still with a cynical smile playing across her lips, she points the whiskey in the direction of the sponge. My chest floods with warmth and I nod deeply.
ありがとう、エリカさん。八重垣だ。それじゃあ一つ気長にやろう。
With that, she goes back to her cake making. Her words sink into my heart like seeds, and an as yet nameless feeling starts to sprout within me. Erika is so sweet. I love her. I know why she's my favorite character of the whole cast. Like, come on. Covers up over my hand and close my eyes. Okay. Now we sleep. We don't give her the gift, I guess. Yeah, we've seen the opening to chapter 4 like 15 times now. It's her birthday. But we can skip all of that because we've seen it before, and now we have one more event. If we go this way.
久しぶりに確かにお手まあさ機種晴れた日の朝は放射冷却ってやつ晴れてくれるのは雪も降りすぎるとあり
Anyone who struggles with conversation learns the ins and outs of talking about the weather. Do they?
甘くて
Do they?
出エジプト期のマナね
Okay, let's see. Whose scene is gonna be here then?
本当まさ夜 頭を使うのって意外ありが別に
Should be another Erika scene we get from doing this, I'm assuming.
ヘイハブ船長が私の代わり余韻がはい私より意義あり
異議を唱えるならその主張とは
白羽さんは私が読書家がすべからくし白羽は一度朗読
Damn. Okay. Let's see.
ありがいつも
Aww. Oh, what's this one? By the time the needle flood of failure is upon you and you realize that the mud-colored waters are already at your neck, it's too late. These thoughts come to me from a place of irritation as I'm working on the recitation script in my room.
イズニクの隠し棚にあった文献調べている時間がないわ
Just when I finally got my hands on a new clue that could potentially lead somewhere, I was settled with the task of scriptwriting. At first I felt only excitement and some nerves at the prospect of us all performing together, but now my time is entirely taken up with daily rehearsals, council duties, and scriptwriting, and my insides are buzzing with impatience.
早くマユリへ至る鍵を得ないと
We're already almost halfway through February, and it won't be long before winter begins melting into spring. I'm convinced that if the season when Mayuri disappeared comes around once more, I'll never see her again. I hear a faint voice, distant yet whispering directly into my ear. A dark crushing wave of emotion surges up in me as I fearfully turn around. There she is. In a corner of my vision, I see my stepmother hovering in the corner of the room, staring fixedly at me. Double corner. I know she's there, but I don't want to look directly at her.
そう今のように目を背ければいいずっとお前がやってきたようにね
Knowing that conversing with her will mean acknowledging her, I remain silent, ignoring her and waiting with my insides twisted in knots for the hideous moment to please pass.
お前は本当に変わらないの
Ah,
ね
ooh.
私の可愛い娘
やめて
A cry bursts from me, the word daughter pushing me over the edge. She never thoroughly thought of me that way. I turn fully, pitting her in the center of my gaze. Corners of her lips twist up in a cruel imitation of a smile as she cackles at me.
あなたは私が作り出した幻覚だから
恐ろしくないそんなに震えているのに
That's when I realize that I'm indeed trembling, tremors running from my shoulders down to my
ねえ
fingertips.
スオ
You! She says my name for the first time and I look into her eyes. Those dark orbs, blacker than the darkest winter night, have been watching me this whole time. A chill runs down my spine, fear turning my insides to ice and only deepening the darkness emanating from my stepmother. Oh, that's actually
自分が
scary.
一番かわいそうだと思っているようだけれど
Like, the one where it's just her mouth, I'm like, okay, whatever, but this one with her eye, ooh. What do
そ
you...
れは
Suddenly the door opens and I literally jump in surprise, twisting around to see who's there.
おどうしたんだ昼間に幽霊でも見た顔をしてるぞ
That's because I have. A familiar bat-like squeak follows.
悪い。脅かしちまったみたいだな。集中して脚本を書いていたんだよな。ノックしてから入りゃよかったか。エリカさん。
Murmuring her name, I hurriedly send a glance toward the corner of the room. The shadow of my stepmother has vanished, and with it has gone the ominous atmosphere and a sick feeling in the pit of my stomach.
どうしたんだよ。まさか黒い悪魔でも出たか。違うわ。
Mm-hmm.
だよな。ただでさえ虫嫌いな白羽が目撃してたら。
Kinda. You know. Taking in her cat-like smile, I finally offer her a relieved smile of my own in return. Then I ask her what she's doing here.
親父が前に言ってた。車を洗うと雨が降るってさ。
So true.
良かれと思ってやったことは往々にして思わぬ災難が降りかかるってことだよ。今日の朗読劇
It's
の
also
練習
like when you
休みだろ。
have just washed your car and then some bird decides to take a fat shit on it and you're like, wouldn't have done that like 5 minutes ago before I washed the car? No. You waited until it was perfectly sparkly clean. Irika-san jerks her chin at the notebook I've been writing the script in and I shake my
聖
head.
堂で自主練してた佐々木姉妹に会ってな。私が先達だってことで少しだけ指導してやってたんだよ。もっときちんと教えてほしいと頼まれた。その通り。雨が降ってきたってわけだ。
Hehe. She spreads her arms, grimacing. Then she continues telling me that they had the idea that it might be fun for us all to practice together.
そう、私を誘いに来てくれたのね。今は千鳥が監督をしてる。脚本で手一杯ってんじゃないならどうだ？
I can turn down a request from my savior when she's just rescued me from my stepmother. Telling her that of course I'll join, I head over and grasp the handlebars of her wheelchair.
ダメだ、まだ照れが入ってる。もう一度やり直し。
No sooner does a critique echo through the chapel than is replaced by a disgruntled wail.
厳しすぎるよ。最初はなかなか上手だって褒めてくれたじゃんか。
But you could be better.
それは初めてにしてはだろうが、今は経験者だ。そろそろ慣れてくれないと困る。それと、そこで我関せずって顔をしてるお前も同じだからな。キョロキョロするな。私が指さしたところにお前以外いないだろうが。
The eyes moving. Irika-san pulls no punches as she continues critiquing the voice work. I watch the lively back and forth between the three of them from the sidelines as I take a break.
お茶でもどう？
Takasaki-san comes over, a mug of tea in her hand. When I shake my head, Rika-san pipes up from beside me. Smiling, she says she'll take one.
もしかして私に言ってなかった？やだ、恥ずかしい。
Oh, congratulations on the Twitch bot, DM. I've had like 2 of them before, and I'm also like, I'm sorry. Of all places, you could DM me where you actually see it. Twitch is just not the place. Like, you made a gif out of that one. I hope that gif gets a lot of good use. She frowns.
持ってきたお茶、コーヒーだけど大丈夫？
Takasaki-san asks her timidly.
いや、大丈夫よ。本当に？コーヒーを飲んで急に紅茶じゃないって怒ったりしない？高崎さんの中の私は一体どうなっているの？
Well, you're very passionate about your tea. I can't help but laugh at the way her braids bristle with indignation. The two of them share a look that seems to bring them to some sort of truce.
やっぱり私もいただけないかしら。ええ、もちろん。
At a slight quirk of her lips, Takasaki-san pours coffee into 2 more china mugs. The scent of freshly ground coffee beans breaks through me, sweeping away the cobweb.
いい香りだわ。おいしい。よかった。さあ、花火師さんもどうぞ。
I do wish I liked either tea or coffee more. On the other hand, I'm glad I don't like coffee because at least I don't need it to... Well, I sure would like something that actually wakes me up properly, but like... I'm happy I'm not relying on coffee. That makes sense.
よし、次はリンゴだ。仕方ありませんね。では、私としての実力を見せましょう。そうかい。たまにはコーヒーもいいわね。わかりましたです。外で飲むと美味しく感じるわよね。
That causes me to wonder aloud whether it's okay for us to be drinking in a chapel.
合唱部の練習で、夏場は特にだけど、水分補給でマグを持参していたし、問題ないと思うわ。
She sticks her tongue out playfully, and I think to myself how much she's changed. Back then, the rules came first, and the people they applied to second.
だから言っただろうが、それじゃただ読んでるだけなんだよ。
Looking over at Irika-san, I feel it's the same with her. Compared to when I first found out her name. Oh, so...
白羽さん？え？コーヒーのおかわりはどうかと尋ねたのだけど。
There's concern in her eyes as she looks at me. I force a smile and tell her that I'm just tired.
そう。
She doesn't look convinced.
エリカ！
She calls her métier partner over, then, after shooting a glance my way, whispers something into her ear. The proposal that Takasaki-san whispered to Irika-san.
約束の1週間が過ぎ、10日を過ぎたその夜、ベルは今にも死んでしまいそうな野獣の夢を見たのです。
Beauty and the Beast? Also, Irika-san and I should read from villain version of Beauty and the Beast and have the others watch, or rather listen and learn.
ベルは急ぎ野獣のもとへ。
Beauty and the Beast.
草原の上に野獣は倒れていました。ああ、ベル。本当に来てくれたのだね。
It wasn't for nothing that Irika-san was the star of our wildly successful recitation back in the summer. Her performance is captivating.
これで思い残すことなく、幸せに死んでいくことができ
She's a
る。
very strong voice if she wants it to be.
待って、あなたは死んではいけません。
Drawn along by Irika-san's performance, I channel emotion into my voice.
ずっと生きて、私の夫になって。今気づいたの。私はあなたを愛しているということに。
I speak the declaration of love.
ベルが心からの言葉を発した瞬間、野獣の姿は消え、代わりに王子が姿を現したのです。
She tells of how the prince had been changed into a hideous beast by an enchantress, cursed to remain in a form until he found love with someone who did not fear him. Then,
王子は自分の国へと帰り、ベルを花嫁にし、幸せに暮らしました。おしまい。
the story is tied up with a neat little bow. Yay!
すごい、さすがそうちゃんだよ。エリカ先生も言うだけのことはありますね。
Irika-san says that there's no need to bring her into it, but the setting sun illuminates a smile on her face.
そうでしょ？うちのエリカは大したことなのよ。
You're Irika.
エリカ先生が指導してくれたのだから、ちゃんと感謝しなくちゃね。
As I'm watching the group chatter lightly, someone taps me on the butt. Irika-san.
さすが、夏冬合わせて2度目の出場なだけはある。まるで甲子園に出場したみたい。私はベースボールを愛しているからな。
A feline smile graces her features and her eyes take on a faraway look as she watches Takasaki-san read from Beauty and the Beast, explaining the things to consider when reading aloud. I follow her lead and quietly watch Rika-san and the others.
千鳥が。千鳥から、お前が落ち込んでいるようだから、話を聞いてやってくれと頼まれた。高崎さんが。
It must have been when she brought me the coffee and I was distracted. I'm not sure how to respond.
お前の部屋に迎えに行った時も、どうも妙な感じだ。
Is she ever not dealing with something? As I've been many times before, I'm overcome with the urge to just tell her everything about Mayuri.
これは内緒だけど。はあ。イズニクで見つけた文献を密かに部屋に持ち込んで読んでいるの。だから最近ずっと寝不足なのよ。
Irika-san tears her gaze away from where the others are up on the stage, picking through the books and glances my way. Our eyes meet for just a second, but it feels like she's trying to pick through my tangled emotions.
そうか。
After a brief moment of thought, she decides not to pry any further. I keep my eyes on the others as I speak.
気遣ってくれる友がいる。私は恵まれているわね。そうだな。千鳥が気遣ってくれたおかげで私も役得だったよ。え？学院一の美人から告白してもらった。たまには車を洗っても雨に降られない時もあるらしい。
God damn it, Erika. I can't help but laugh out loud. The sound reaches the others up on the stage and they come skipping over, wanting to know what all the fuss is about.
みんなのおかげだわ。
The tension and frustration that have made the nest in my heart fly away. I exhale Ichigo-san as she leaps into my arms, and I vow to myself to focus only on the recitation right now, for their sake as well as mine. Aww.
Hello.
Hello?
Are you also here to see some cute girls? Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Okay. We don't actually need to continue on this file though. What we need is this one. To get our last CG that we're still missing. We love.
エリカさんとそれじ昨日の夜言えない。やっぱり
Let's see.
白雪姫すみいいのよ。実はほら感触はに固定観念は間違いのもとか。そんな。しかしあが
And this one.
なんだみんなと怖い話談義をするのどう違うんだ。旅行好きでも道中の目的より手段
Okay, there we go. Symbolic words from the movie Castaway. I chew on them as I immerse myself in the task of reading through the books I brought from Mizu. Ever since the day that Rika-san showed us the letters from Shion Basquiat and Sayuri Kifune she'd found in the specimen room, things have started to move. First, I learned that Shion Basquiat was a student who had attended the academy. The information I received from former President Yuzuriya Yatsushiro didn't tell me anything about her as a person. All I had to go on was the fact that she was buried beside the old chapel, on the basis of which I saw missed a connection to the academy and to Sister Basquiat. For that reason, I had assumed that Shion was a man, perhaps Sister Basquiat's adopted father. The funniest thing about this one to me is how she wasn't even that far off. In that sense, because Shion, Sister Basquiat's adopted father did very much also perish in the same place, but he's in a different grave. However, thanks to Rika-san's discovery, I now know who she was, how she felt, and what kind of life she led here at the academy. And from that photo, I know just how closely she resembled her. There are an uncanny number of similarities in everything that occurred between me and Mayuri meeting her and her disappearance after the Feast of the Assumption. As images of Mayuri and Shion dance through minds, the words on the page before me start to lose their meaning, my eyes sliding uselessly over them. I shake my head and massage my temples, chasing away the image of Shion Basquiat.
ようやく自室で読み進められるようになったのに
Now that I've told Rika-san almost everything, I'm able to make real progress, bringing the books back to our room and slogging through them here. And on top of that,
ずいぶん私も一緒に
I intended to use today, the Sabbath, to get through a good chunk of them, and we both rolled up our sleeves ready to get stuck into a day of reading. However, the best laid plans of mice and men often go awry. No sooner had we started than there was a knock at the door. My mature partner, a core member of the choir club, was dragged off, her protests falling on deaf ears.
岡間先輩って意外と推しが強かったのね
I had talked it out, though Hokama-senpai's voice had been so quiet that I was only able to hear Rika-san's objections. Still, from the general flow of the conversation, it was obvious that Hokama-senpai's argument was more eloquent and held more water. And so, with profuse apologies to me, Rikka-san left for the chapel. That's Dahlia's father's Asta. Oh, yeah. To be fair, before this. I did not know that Shion was considered a neutral name, because in my mind, when I think of Shion, I go to Higurashi. That's the first thing in my mind. Even if this is a different way of writing the name, it's like, if I hear that name, my first thought is Higurashi. So I immediately thought, well, Shion is definitely a girl's name, but, well, I learned something new. I speak the quote from Castaway aloud then, believing that something will come my way. I cast my gaze down to the page once more. Then, reaching reflexively for my coffee cup, I find it empty. I half rise out of my seat to grab the nearby pot. That's when I realize that I've somehow gotten through the whole thing already. I look back and forth between the half-read book and the empty coffee pot. Deciding to put a pause on my reading, I get up to go brew myself some fresh coffee. As it turns out, the old adage about best laid plans didn't apply to my métier partner alone. Oh, hi! Though neither mouse nor man, my plans for the day have certainly gone awry. Oh, cooking! Still, I'm not too cut up about it. In fact, I'm glad she came by before I had a chance to really get started. Surprise bird attack! When her cheeks flush, she looks just adorable. It's easy for me to get along with her when she wears her emotions on her sleeve.
白羽さんは何か用があったんじゃないの？手にコーヒーポットを持っていたでしょ？本を読むのにコーヒーを用意しようと思って。本、イズニクの文献ね。ごめんなさい。私邪魔をしちゃったわね。
Don't worry about it. I gently lay a hand on her arm to say her apologies.
休憩しようと思っていたところだもの。だから気にしないで。
Despite my reassurances, she doesn't seem convinced. I put a little pressure into my grip on her arm as I speak.
謝るなら私の方だわ。え？高崎さんには訳を話していない不誠実な形で文献を調べるのを手伝ってもらっていたのだし。
I bow my head low to her, but she practically yells at me to raise it.
そんなこと別にいいのよ。気にしてなんていないわ。私だ。
I scooped my courage and finished my sentence.
お互いに気にするのはおしまいにしましょう。そうね。
She laughs brazily, like all her reserve has been cast off. I start arranging the cooking utensils we'll need. Pancakes! Oh, this is what you were talking about last time. Yeah, pancakes.
優しいだなんて。
Yes.
アミティエのためにしてあげたいという気
I want
持
some
ち。
pancakes.
一番尊い理由だわ。
When I bumped into her in the corridor, she asked me for my help in making her métier partner's favorite food.
頼られるのって嬉しいわ。
I feel like all I ever do is rely on others, so I'm genuinely overjoyed to be able to give something back. I agreed without a moment's hesitation, and now here we are in the cook club room making pancakes.
白羽さんって変わっているわね。
So have you.
そう？私と料理するのが嬉しいって。だって嬉しいもの。どうして？だってお友達と二人きりでお料理するなんて楽しいでしょ？お友達？
Her brow furrows as though she's deep in thought.
お友達よね。
I ask her, starting to panic slightly. She blinks at me, and then...
お友達だわ。
Yay! She shows me a smile just like Mayuri's, as bright as spring sunshine.
それじゃあ始めましょう。お願いします。 白羽先生。
Once bubbles start to form.
反対
Oh.
側も焼いたら完成。あとは好みでメープルシロップやバターをかければいいのよ。
You know what I will say? I have never like butter? What do you mean? Huh?
ほんほんは
Her words are impassioned but totally incomprehensible.
白羽さんは上手だわ。料理部に入っているだけあるわ
Oh,
ね。
she's so cute. She starts swallowing a bite of burnt pancake. I see that she's already moved on to making a new batch of batter, and I can't help but admire her.
中崎さんって努力家なのね。何が？だって言いづらいけれど、たくさん失敗
You
して
failed
そ
so
れでも
much.
諦めないなんて。
How can you fail at making pancake batter? Like, I don't know. The pancake batter is very easy to mix. I think the harsh part is just actually making them in the pan. Saki-san blinks at me.
もしかして何度も何度も迷惑だった？
No.
いいえ、違うわ。ただすごいなって。反復練習はバレエの基本だもの。もともとしつこい性格だから。それに私、一度決めたら絶対に諦めないの。何？今のセリフ、世界でただ一人諦めないで戦う主人公みたいに聞こえた。ヒーローみたい。
I started thinking of my favorite movie, but Takasaki-san regards me with an irritated look.
私、ヒーローは嫌だわ。ヒロインの方がいい。
She gently touches my shoulder. The movement is smooth and precise as a swan's.
今は白羽さんがヒーロー。私を救ってくれる役だわ。
Mm-hmm.
そうね。
The gesture's fluid as her dancing makes me feel close to her, and my chest glows with warmth.
でもパンケーキってただ何かの粉に卵とミルクを混ぜて焼くだけかと思っていたけれど、随分食材が必要なのね。
Does it?
口当たりがいい、とろけるような食感にするにはいろいろと必要なの。バターミルク、ベーキングパウダー、卵、砂糖、牛乳、ヨーグルト。
Girl, what kind of pancakes are you making?
それって基本的なもの以外も含まれているのよね。何度か試行錯誤を繰り返して増やしたものもある
Who
わ。
the fuck puts
隠し味み
yogurt?
たいなものかしら。それを私に伝授してくれるのだか
Though,
ら。
I mean, I don't know. Are they making like
白羽
American
先生
style
様々だわ。
pancakes or more like fake pancakes? We look at one another and giggle at her exaggerated compliment. I never imagined myself getting along so well with Takasaki-san.
だいぶ上手になってきたし、次は成功
Yes,
するわ。
pancakes in the academy. So true.
先生のお墨付きなら頑張らないとね。
I watch as he starts to mix together the pre-measured ingredients. I overhear her mutter something and ask her what she said.
なんでもないの。そう？ただ、こんなにも綺麗で頭もいいのに、頼りがいがあって優しいだなんて。そんな。白羽さんのこと、エリカが好きになるのもわかるわ。
What? I don't quite catch her whispered words, but I'm genuinely delighted to have gotten closer to Takasaki-san. Yeah, Irika's little crush, right? Oh. I know what I have to do now. I gotta keep breathing because tomorrow the sun will rise. Who knows what the tide could bring? Those words from the movie Castaway ring true. The tide did indeed bring me something.
まさか、彼女が運んでくれるなんて。
I need to look into the drama series. Coffee pot in hand, I stare out the foggy window at the bare frozen branches of the trees. But while I'm looking at them, I'm not really seeing them. Instead, I'm thinking about the tulpa phenomenon that Takasaki-san researched for me. When the pancakes were finished and I was brewing some coffee, she told me about this concept she had come across of, the imaginary friend.
現代に即し、形を変えた。
Oh, thank you for the posture check.
Ooh. Sue being out here all happy I made a friend makes me happy too. Very true, very true. I am rooting for her all the time. According to Takasaki-san, it's different to the traditional concept of a hallucinated entity that interferes with aesthetic training. Aesthetic training. These days, there are people out there who attempt to birth a tulpa from their own psyche as an imaginary friend. I'm familiar with the term imaginary friend to describe a psychological phenomenon. I came across it years ago when I was researching my mother's illness. Imaginary friends reside in the imagination, and it's common for children to have them. But these modern tulpas don't simply exist in the mind. People see the pseudo-friends with their own eyes. And these friends can even offer them advice and encouragement. I feel as though I've gained an important piece of the puzzle. Gazing out at the trees with the branches like gnarled old fingers, I ask myself what this new puzzle piece is showing me. That's it? I think. Yeah. Yes. Now we should have them all. Uh-huh. 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 Yes. Which also means I now get to look at the folk. Yeah. It's your wish, Susan. Susan, she's so embarrassed. Could I wish we did that? Rikka's fantasy world. She's wished to make 100 new friends. Don't get any weird ideas. No, goodbye fantasy. She could go and we don't want to miss dinner. I hope my wish comes true. I wish for the three of us to spend next Tanabata together too. Oh, that's cute. A Ouija board. That's fun. I believe you're still into Ouija boards. So ready? Let's get started. Place your finger. Yeah. Oh, no. You do love me more than anything. What are you talking about? We didn't even ask a question. But you do love me, right? Yeah. I know I could...
エリカは誰よりも私のことが好きなのね。
お前何言ってるんだ。そもそもまだ質問してないだろうが。
でも好きよね。ゆずりはこんなごちそう本当にいいの？
Is she not wearing pants?
今日はニューネリーになった記念日だからね。
このケーキもすごく美味しいわ。
それはよかった。腕を振るった甲斐があったよ。
もう少し入りそうね。
ネリー、完食してくれたのは嬉しいけれど、もう食材が
まだ食べてない。
え？
まだゆずり葉を食べてないわ。
Hello?
疲れた。バレエの練習きつすぎだよ。何もお昼休みまでやらなくてもってもしかしてリンゴ怒ってるの？別に。今のリンゴエリカみたいだよ。イチゴねみたいなガサツなタイプは気づかないみたいですね。わかってるよ。食事前の約束忙しいからって最近してなかったもんね。だから今日はたくさんしよう。
Oh, are we moving that over into the main series? I was trying to ignore that ending from their game. I'm okay. Yuri cannibalism is not in this one. Yeah, no, it's not. Comments from the cast, but
皆さん、最後までプレイしてくださってありがとうございま
that's
した。
very nice.
白羽スオ役の名塚香織です。皆さん、
Yeah. Sorry, hold on. Stop talking, please. I can't. They have no subtitles. This is the thing I was complaining about within the Otome game as well. It's like they have all these nice comments because they do go. The seiyus, especially if it's a longer running series, or most often if it's a longer running series, they go out of their way. They have their little comments where they actually talk about their experience with the game or how they like playing the character. Like that is so cool to hear because they are the ones that give life to these characters, and then we get the game translated, but we don't actually get that part translated. I'm just like, I want to know too. I want to understand the commentary, please. I'm so sad, but yeah, this probably someone out there who went out of their way and translated them, but I wish they would have included that in the official translation. And honestly, like if it's a coding problem where they literally don't know how to put the text in here, like make it so it shows up in the game, give me a text file. I don't even care. Like just give me the script. Include the script somewhere when I download the files for the game, and make like a little folder that says, hi, here's the script for these voice comments, whatever. Something, please. They aren't real. She did a radio skit playing multiple characters. Oh, her voice actress is... I keep forgetting. Like, on one hand, it's like, okay, yeah, sure, they're twins. They get played by one person, but I keep forgetting. There's just one person who does both of the voices, because they're distinct enough that I think, oh yeah, that's two people who just sound similar. No, it's just one person. But yeah, I have to look into that, see if I can hopefully find some fan translated versions of that stuff somewhere. But when it comes to the game series itself, this is it. This is it for us. This marks the end of our Flowers journey, which is crazy considering it's technically been the full 3 years. Because I started playing the first Flowers game during, I think, my first my first year of streaming. And now we're done. I think someone translated it for sure. I have to just take a look online. But technically, that is it. Which also marks it the first multiple games in a series that I've played on stream, like that we're finished with. Unless they come out with another Flowers game, which I don't think they are. Still, they're doing more drama cities and stuff, but game-wise, this is it. This is it. Restream them in a year or two? No, I don't think I will. Since technically the first 3 games I already played the second time, just so I could play them on stream, but like, it's crazy. Because in my mind it's like, okay, the Yakuza games, the Atelier games, obviously I talk about those often enough, we play all of those. We're getting closer to catching up with the Yakuza games, so we're getting somewhere with Atelier. I still have a few more entries left of Professor Layton before the new one next year. So Flowers is the first one, the first series where we're like done. We caught up with them. We done them all. That's so. I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of myself. This makes it game since I just literally just earlier updated my played games or finished games. This marks it game 140 that we have finished as a stream project. On stream since I started in 2021. That is fantastic! Oh my god! Thank you for the fact. Goodness. I will miss these girls. I will miss these girls. I've been just saying out the actress commentary. Aw. Man. I will still maybe there's someone out there. Like in the depths of their own personal blog, they will have some information or something. But yeah! Woohoo! Let me look into the music section stuff. Wow! Because I want to do one more thing before we end the stream tonight. One more thing that I've been thinking about since they announced it during the game, which play they would be doing. And since I do have the book here and I finally got an English version, I finally got an English version of the Grimm's fairy tales. I would like to read out. I would like to read that one out, just so we can hear one version of it. And we're like, the original is like, obviously the original is in quotations here because every single translation, every single version that's written out is slightly different. But the one I have is from the Puffin Classics collection, and from what we've seen of it a little bit, it is mostly the same as the one I've grown up with, except for the whole he turns back into a human by just sleeping on her pillow. Meanwhile, in the German version I had, she threw him against the wall, but like, that's alright. It's not a very long fairy tale. Hold on, it's what? How many pages? It's like 5 pages. It's 5 pages for the Frog Prince. So I'm going to read that one out loud. You translate them if your Japanese was a bit better. I mean, I can listen to them and probably understand a few bits and pieces here and there, but... Just 5 pages as large as a room. Oh, no. This is just a small book, really. It's not much. Let me just... Hold on. Let me see. I just want something in the back that's not as loud. We're going to read the Frog Prince, and then let me see. Do I have... I should put it in this one as well. I should have her in here, I think. Yeah, I do. 209. I think it would be a fitting end. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ooh, that one is like 11 pages. Let's do it. The Frog Prince. One fine evening, a young princess went into a wood and sat down by the side of a cool spring of water. She had a golden ball in her hand, which was her favorite plaything, and she amused herself with tossing it into the air and catching it again as it fell. After a time, she threw it up so high that when she stretched out her hand to catch it, the ball bounded away and rolled along upon the ground, till at last it fell into the spring. The princess looked into the spring after her ball, but it was very deep, so deep that she could not see the bottom of it. Then she began to lament her loss and said, "Alas, if I could only get my ball again, I would give all my fine clothes and jewels and everything that I have in the world." While she was speaking, a frog put its head out of the water and said, "Princess, why do you weep so bitterly?" "Alas," said she, "what can you do for me, you nasty frog? My golden ball has fallen into the spring." The frog said, "I want not your pearls and jewels and fine clothes, but if you will love me and let me live with you, and eat from your little golden plate, and sleep upon your little bed, I will bring you your ball again." "What nonsense," thought the princess. "The silly frog is talking. He can never get out of the well. However, he may be able to get my ball for me, and therefore I will promise him what he asks." So she said to the frog, "Well, if you will bring me my ball, I promise to do all you require." Then the frog put his head down and dived deep under the water, and after a little while he came up again with the ball in his mouth and threw it on the ground. As soon as the young princess saw her ball, she ran to pick it up and was so overjoyed to have it in her hand again that she never thought of the frog, but ran home with it as fast as she could. The frog called after her, "Stay, princess, and take me with you as you promised." But she did not stop to hear a word. The next day, just as the princess had sat down to dinner, she heard a strange noise, tap, tap, as if somebody was coming up the marble staircase, and soon afterwards something knocked gently at the door and said, "Open the door, my princess dear, open the door to thy true love here, and mind the words that thou I said, by the fountain cool in the greenwood shade." Then the princess ran to the door and opened it, and there she saw the frog, whom she had quite forgotten. She was terribly frightened, and shutting the door as fast as she could, came back to her seat. The king, her father, asked her what had frightened her. "Here's a nasty frog," said she, "at the door who lifted my bowl out of the spring this morning. I promised him that he should live with me here, thinking that he could never get out of the spring, but here he is at the door and wants to come in." While she was speaking, the frog knocked again at the door and said, "Open the door, my princess dear, open the door to die through love here, and mind the words that thou and I said, by the fountain cool in the greenwood shade." The king said to the young princess, "As you have made a promise, you must keep it, so go and let him in." She did so, and the frog hopped into the room and came up close to the table. "Pray lift me upon a chair," said he to the princess, "and let me sit next to you." As soon as she had done this, the frog said, "Put your plate closer to me, that I may eat out of it." This she did, and when he had eaten as much as he could, he said, "Now I am tired. Carry me upstairs and put me into your little bed." And the princess took him up in her hand, put him upon the pillow of her own little bed, where he slept all night long. As soon as it was light, he jumped up, hopped downstairs, and went out of the house. "Now," thought the princess, "he's gone, and I shall be troubled with him no more." But she was mistaken, for when night came again, she heard the same tapping at the door, and when she opened it, the frog came in and slept upon her pillow as before till the morning broke. And the third night he did the same. But when the princess awoke on the following morning, she was astonished to see, instead of the frog, a handsome prince gazing on her with the most beautiful eyes that ever were seen, and standing at the head of her bed. He told her that he had been enchanted by a malicious fairy who had changed him into the form of a frog, in which he was fated to remain till some princess should take him out of the spring and let him sleep upon a bed for 3 nights. "You," said the prince, "have broken this cruel charm, and now I have nothing to wish for but that you should go with me into my father's kingdom, where I will marry you and love you as long as you live." The young princess, you may be sure, was not long in giving her consent, and as they spoke, a splendid carriage drove up with 8 beautiful horses decked with plumes of feathers and golden harness, and behind rode the prince's servant, the faithful Henry, who had bewailed the misfortune of his dear master so long and bitterly that his heart had well nigh burst. Then all set out, full of joy, for the prince's kingdom, where they arrived safely and lived happily a great many years. That's so short! What the hell? Sorry. That is so... No way. That is missing the entirety of the whole... Oh! Let me check this. 1, 2, 3... Okay, never mind. The German version... My German version is only 4 pages, but to be fair, the size of the writing is smaller. Does anyone want to hear the German version? Even if you don't understand German, you think to yourself, "God damn, I don't know what word Nu is saying at all whatsoever." I'm not even joking. Yeah! Perfectly medium sized. You want to hear? You were going to say yes, but I mean... Yes, you are going to understand it. Okay, that's two yeses. That's 1 yes from someone who doesn't speak German and 1 yes from someone who does speak German, so we're going for it. Let's go. Der Froschkönig oder der eiserne Heinrich. In den alten Zeiten, wo das Wünschen noch geholfen hat, lebte ein König, dessen Töchter waren alle schön, aber die jüngste war so schön, dass die Sonne selber, die doch so vieles gesehen hat, sich verwunderte, so oft sie ihr ins Gesicht schien. Nahe bei dem Schloss des Königs lag ein großer dunkler Wald, und in dem Walde unter einer alten Linde war ein Brunnen. Wenn nun der Tag sehr heiß war, ging das Königskind hinaus in den Wald und setzte sich an den Rand des kühlen Brunnens. Und wenn sie Langeweile hatte, so nahm sie eine goldene Kugel, warf sie in die Höhe und fing sie wieder, und das war ihr liebstes Spielzeug. Nun trug es sich einmal zu, dass die goldene Kugel der Königstochter nicht in ihr Händchen fiel, das sie in die Höhe gehalten hatte, sondern vorbei auf die Erde schlug und geradezu ins Wasser hineinrollte. Die Königstochter folgte ihr mit den Augen nach, aber die Kugel verschwand und der Brunnen war tief, so tief, dass man keinen Grund sah. Da fing sie an zu weinen und weinte immer lauter und konnte sich gar nicht trösten. Und wie sie so klagte, rief ihr jemand zu: »Was hast du vor, Königstochter? Du schreist ja, dass sich ein Stein erbarmen möchte.« Sie sah sich um, woher die Stimme käme. Da erblickte sie einen Frosch, der seinen dicken, hässlichen Kopf aus dem Wasser streckte. »Ach, du bist's, alter Wasserpatscher«, sagte sie. »Ich weine über meine goldene Kugel, die mir in den Brunnen hinabgefallen ist.« »Sei still und weine nicht«, antwortete der Frosch. »Ich kann wohl Rat schaffen, aber was gibst du mir, wenn ich dein Spielzeug wieder heraufhole?« »Was du haben willst, lieber Frosch«, sagte sie. »Meine Kleider, meine Perlen und Edelsteine, auch noch die goldene Krone, die ich trage.« Der Frosch antwortete. »Deine Kleider, deine Perlen und Edelsteine und deine goldene Krone, die mag ich nicht.« Aber wenn du mich lieb haben willst und ich soll dein Geselle und Spielkamerad sein, an deinem Tischlein neben dir sitzen, von deinem goldenen Tellerlein essen, aus deinem Becherlein trinken, in deinem Bettlein schlafen, wenn du mir das versprichst, so will ich hinuntersteigen und dir die goldene Kugel wieder heraufholen. Ach ja, sagte sie, ich verspreche dir alles, was du willst, wenn du mir nur die Kugel wiederbringst. Sie dachte aber, was der einfältige Frosch schwätzt, der sitzt im Wasser bei seinesgleichen und quakt und kann keines Menschen Geselle sein. Der Frosch, als er die Zusage erhalten hatte, tauchte seinen Kopf unter, sank hinab und über ein Weilchen kam er wieder heraufgerudert, hatte die Kugel im Maul und warf sie ins Gras. Die Königstochter war voll Freude, als sie ihr schönes Spielzeug wieder erblickte, hob es auf und sprang damit fort. »Warte, warte«, rief der Frosch, »nimm mich mit, ich kann nicht so laufen wie du.« Aber was half ihm, dass er ihr sein Quack-Quack so laut nachschrie, als er konnte? Sie hörte nicht darauf, eilte nach Hause und hatte bald den armen Frosch vergessen, der wieder in seinen Brunnen hinabsteigen musste. Am anderen Tage, als sie mit dem König und allen Hofleuten sich zur Tafel gesetzt hatte und von ihrem goldenen Tellerlein aß, da kam plitsch, platsch, etwas die Marmortreppe heraufgekrochen, und als es oben angelangt war, klopfte es an der Tür und rief, »Königstochter Jüngste, mach mir auf!« Sie lief und wollte sehen, wer draußen wäre. Als sie aber aufmachte, so saß der Frosch davor. Da warf sie die Tür hastig zu, setzte sich wieder an den Tisch, und es war ihr ganz Angst. Der König sah wohl, dass ihr das Herz gewaltig klopfte und sprach, »Mein Kind, was fürchtest du dich? Steht etwa ein Riese vor der Tür und will dich holen?« »Ach nein«, antwortete sie, »es ist kein Riese, sondern ein garstiger Frosch.« »Was will der Frosch von dir?« »Ach, lieber Vater, als ich gestern im Wald bei dem Brunnen saß und spielte, da fiel meine goldene Kugel ins Wasser. Und weil ich so weinte, hat sie der Frosch wieder heraufgeholt. Und weil er es durchaus verlangte, so versprach ich ihm, er sollte mein Geselle werden. Ich dachte aber nimmermehr, dass er aus seinem Wasser heraus könnte. Nun ist er draußen und will zu mir herein.« Indem klopfte es zum zweiten Mal und rief, »Königstochter Jüngste, mach mir auf! Weißt du nicht, was gestern du zu mir gesagt, bei dem kühlen Brunnenwasser? Königstochter Jüngste, mach mir auf!« Da sagte der König, »Was du versprochen hast, das musst du auch halten. Geh nur und mach ihm auf.« Sie ging und öffnete die Türe, da hüpfte der Frosch herein, ihr immer auf dem Fuße nach, bis zu ihrem Stuhl. Da saß er und rief, »Hebe mich herauf zu dir!« Sie zauderte, bis es endlich der König befahl. Als der Frosch erst auf dem Stuhl war, wollte er auf den Tisch, und als er da saß, sprach er, »Nun schieb mir dein goldenes Tellerlein näher, damit wir zusammen essen.« Das tat sie zwar, aber man sah wohl, dass sie es nicht gerne tat. Der Frosch ließ sich's gut schmecken, aber ihr blieb fast jedes Bisslein im Halse. Endlich sprach er, »Ich habe mich satt gegessen und bin müde, nun trag mich in dein Kämmerlein und mach dein Seidenbettlein zurecht, da wollen wir uns schlafen legen.« Die Königstochter fing an zu weinen und fürchtete sich vor dem kalten Frosch, den sie sich nicht anrühren getraute und der nun in ihrem schönen reinen Bettlein schlafen sollte. Der König aber war zornig und sprach, »Wer dir geholfen hat, als du in der Not warst, dem sollst du hernach nicht verachten.« Da packte sie ihn mit 2 Fingern, trug ihn hinauf und setzte ihn in eine Ecke. Als er aber im Bette lag, kam er gekrochen und sprach, »Ich bin müde, ich will schlafen so gut wie du. Heb mich herauf, oder ich sag's deinem Vater.« Da ward sie erst bitterböse, holte ihn herauf und warf ihn aus allen Kräften wider die Wand. »Nun wirst du Ruhe haben, du garstiger Frosch!« Als er aber herabfiel, war er kein Frosch, sondern ein Königssohn mit schönen, freundlichen Augen. Der war nun nach ihres Vaters Willen ihr lieber Geselle und Gemahl. Da erzählte er ihr, er wäre von einer bösen Hexe verwünscht worden, und niemand hätte ihn aus dem Brunnen erlösen können als sie allein, und morgen wollten sie zusammen in sein Reich gehen. Dann schliefen sie ein, und am anderen Morgen, als die Sonne sie aufweckte, kam ein Wagen herangefahren, mit 8 weißen Pferden bespannt. Die hatten weiße Straußenfedern auf dem Kopf und gingen in goldenen Ketten, und hinten stand der Diener des jungen Königs, das war der treue Heinrich. Der treue Heinrich hatte sich so betrübt, als sein Herr in einen Frosch verwandelt worden war, dass er 3 eiserne Bande hatte um sein Herz legen lassen, damit es ihm nicht vor Weh und Traurigkeit zersprenge. Der Wagen aber sollte den jungen König in sein Reich abholen. Der treue Heinrich hob beide hinein, stellte sich wieder hinten auf und war voller Freude über die Erlösung. Und als sie ein Stück Wegs gefahren waren, hörte der Königssohn, dass es hinter ihm krachte, als wäre etwas zerbrochen. Da drehte er sich um und rief, »Heinrich, der Wagen bricht!« »Nein, Herr, der Wagen nicht. Es ist ein Band von meinem Herzen, das da lag in großen Schmerzen, als ihr in dem Brunnen saßt, als ihr ein Frosch wart.« Noch einmal und noch einmal krachte es auf dem Weg, und der Königssohn meinte immer, der Wagen bräche, und es waren doch nur die Bande, die vom Herzen des treuen Heinrich absprangen, weil sein Herr erlöst und glücklich war. There we go. See, the difference here is the entire part of the whole, okay, she was the youngest one, she goes out to play, and then she throws him against the wall. Also, the king is a little more involved, and he's like, well, you made a promise, so now deal with it. And then the part about Henry who picks them up, and he put these bands of steel across his heart so it wouldn't break. That's the main difference. The English version I have here is a little shorter. I mean, I can talk on like the way it's written, because it just reads English to me, right? But the German version I have is still written with a sharp S. King was one webtoon, he thrown the frog out of the window himself. He would. Do you think someone made a webtoon on the premise of the Frog King? Because like, it would be interesting. Okay. One more thing before we go. We will also read Ashpuddle, but only in English, because if I read the German one for that one as well, that's gonna be a little too long, I feel like. Anyone ever... Wow, Noah, why are you so obsessed with fairy tales? Well, like, I think they're nice. And now I have an actual reason to read them out, so you have to. You have to. Will I make a squeaking noise like a squeaky toy? Not necessarily. I can try. But it doesn't sound satisfying enough, I feel like. Okay, let's go for Ashpuddle. Okay, let's go for Pikachu first, and then we go for Ashpuddle. And then it's officially over. It's gonna be officially over. Wow!
Pikachu. Vega Vega. Pikachu.
Alright. The wife of a rich man fell sick, and when she felt that her end drew nigh, she called her only daughter to her bedside and said, "Always be a good girl, and I will look down from heaven and watch over you." Soon afterwards, she shut her eyes and died, and was buried in the garden. And the little girl went every day to her grave and wept, and was always good and kind to all about her. And the snow spread a beautiful white covering over the grave, but by the time the sun had melted it away, again her father had married another wife. His new wife had 2 daughters of her own that she brought home with her. They were fair in face, but foul at heart, and it was now a sorry time for the poor little girl. "What does a good-for-nothing want in a parlour?" said they. "They who would eat bread should first earn it. Away with the kitchen maid." Then they took away her fine clothes and gave her an old grey frock to put on, and laughed at her and turned her into the kitchen. There she was forced to do hard work, to rise early before daylight, to bring the water, to make the fire, to cook and to wash. Besides that, the sisters plagued her in all sorts of ways and laughed at her. In the evening, when she was tired, she had no bed to lie down on, but was made to lie by the among the ashes, and then, as she was of course always dusty and dirty, they called her Ashpuddle. It happened once that the father was going to the fair and asked his wife's daughters that he should bring them. "Fine clothes," said the first. "Pearls and diamonds," cried the second. "Now, child," said he to his own daughter, "what will you have?" "The first sprig, dear father, that rubs against your head on your way home," said she. Then he bought for the first 2 the fine clothes and pearls and diamonds they had asked for, and on his way home, as he rode through a green copse, a sprig of hazel brushed against him and almost pushed off his hand. So he broke it off and brought it away, and when he got home he gave it to his daughter. Then she took it and went to her mother's grave and planted it there, and cried so much that it was watered with her tears, and there it grew and became a fine tree. 3 times every day she went to it and wept, and soon a little bird came and built its nest upon the tree, and talked with her, and watched over her, and brought her whatever she wished for. Now it happened that the king of the land held a feast which was to last 3 days, and out of those who came to it, his son... And out of those who came to it, his son was to choose a bride for himself. And Ashpuddle's 2 sisters were asked to come, so they called her up and said, "Now comb our hair, brush our shoes, and tie our sashes for us, for we are going to dance at the king's feast." Then she did as she was told, but when all was done she could not help crying, for she thought to herself she could have liked to go to the dance too, and at last she begged her mother very hard to let her go. "You, Ashpuddle," said she, "you who have nothing to wear, no clothes at all, and who cannot even dance, you want to go to the ball." And when she kept on begging, to get rid of her, she said at last, "I will throw this basin full of peas into the ash heap, and if you have picked them all out in 2 hours' time, you shall go to the feast too." Then she threw the peas into the ashes, but the little maiden ran out of the back door into the garden and cried out, "Hither, hither through the sky, turtle-doves and linnets fly, blackbird, thrush, and chaffinch, yea, hither, hither, haste away. One and all come help me quick, haste ye, pick, pick, pick." Then first came 2 white doves flying in at the kitchen window, and next came 2 turtle doves, and after them all the little birds under heaven came chirping and fluttering in, and flew down into the ashes. And the little doves stooped their heads down and set to work, pick, 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 and then the others began to pick, 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 and picked out all the good grain and put it in a dish and left the ashes. At the end of 1 hour the work was done, and all flew out again at the windows. Then she brought the dish to her mother, overjoyed at the thought that now she could go to the wedding. But she said, "No, no, you slut, you have no clothes and cannot dance, you shall not go." And when Ashputtel begged very hard to go, she said, "If you can in 1 hour's time pick 2 of those dishes of peas out of the ashes, you shall go too." And thus she thought she should at least get rid of her. So she shook 2 dishes of peas into the ashes, but the little maiden went out into the garden at the back of the house and cried out as before. "Hither, hither through the sky, turtle doves and linnets fly, blackbird thrush and chaffing gay, hither, hither, haste away. One and all come help me quick, haste ye, pick, pick, pick." Then first came 2 white doves in at the kitchen window, and next came the turtle doves, and after them all the little birds under heaven came chirping and hopping about, and flew down about the ashes, and the little doves put their heads down and set to work, pick, 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 and the others began pick, 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 and they put all the good grain into the dishes and left all the ashes. For half an hour's time all was done, and out they flew again. And then Ashputtel took the dishes to her mother, rejoicing to think that she should now go to the ball. But her mother said, "It is all of no use, you cannot go, you have no clothes and cannot dance, and you would only put us to shame." And off she went with her 2 daughters to the feast. Now when all were gone and nobody left at the home, Ashputtel went sorrowfully and sat down under the hazel tree and cried out, "Shake, shake, hazel tree, gold and silver over me." Then her friend the bird flew out of the tree and brought a gold and silver dress for her and slippers of spangled silk, and she put them on and followed her sisters to the feast. But they did not know her and thought it must be some strange princess. She looked so fine and beautiful in her rich clothes, and they never once thought of Ashputtel but took for granted that she was safe at home in the dirt. The king's son soon came up to her and took her by the hand and danced with her and no one else, and he never left her hand. But when anyone else came to ask her to dance, he said, "This lady is dancing with me." Thus they danced till a late hour of the night, and then she wanted to go home, and the king's son said, "I shall go and take care of you to your home," for he wanted to see where the beautiful maid lived. But she slipped away from him unawares and ran off towards home, and the prince followed her, but she jumped up into the pigeon house and shut the door. Then he waited till her father came home and told him that the unknown maiden who had been at the feast had hid herself in the pigeon house. But when they had broken open the door, they found no one within. And as they came back into the house, Ashputtel lay, as she always did, in her dirty frock by the ashes, and her dim little lamp burned in a chimney, for she had run as quickly as she could through the pigeon house and onto the hazel tree, and had there taken off her beautiful clothes and laid them beneath the tree, that the bird might carry them away, and had seated herself amid the ashes again in her little grey frock. The next day, when the feast was again held, and her mother and sisters were gone, Ashputtel went to the hazel tree and said, "Shake, shake, hazel tree, gold and silver over me." And the bird came and brought a still finer dress than the one she had worn the day before, and when she came in into the ball, everyone wondered at her beauty. But the king's son, who was waiting for her, took her by the hand and danced with her, and when anyone asked her to dance, she said as before, "This lady's dancing with me." When night came, she wanted to go home, and the king's son followed her as before, that he might see into what house she went, but she sprang away from him all at once into the garden behind her father's house. In his garden stood a fine large pear tree full of ripe fruit, and Ashputtel, not knowing where to hide herself, jumped up into it without being seen. Then the king's son could not find her where she was gone, but waited till her father came home and said to him, "The unknown lady who danced with me has slipped away, and I think she must have sprung into the pear tree." The father thought to himself, "Can it be Ashputtel?" So he ordered an axe to be brought, and they cut under the tree, but found no one upon it. And when they came back into the kitchen, they lay Ashputtel in the ashes as usual, for she had slipped down on the other side of the tree and carried her beautiful clothes back to the bird at the hazel tree, and then put on her little grey frock. The third day, when her father and mother and sisters were gone, she went again into the garden and said, "Shake, shake, hazel tree, gold and silver over me." Then her kind friend, the bird, brought a dress still finer than the former one, and slippers which were all of gold, so that when she came to the feast, no one knew what to say for wonder at her beauty, and the king's son danced with her alone, and when anyone else asked her to dance, he said, "This lady is my partner." Now when night came, she wanted to go home, and the king's son would go with her, and said to himself, "I will not lose her this time." But however she managed to slip away from him, though in such a hurry that she dropped her left golden slipper upon the stairs. So the prince took the shoe and went the next day to the king, his father, and said, "I will take for my wife the lady that this gold slipper fits." Then both the sisters were overjoyed to hear this, for they had beautiful feet and had no doubt that they could wear the golden slipper. The eldest went first into the room where the slipper was and wanted to try it on, and the mother stood by, but her great toe could not go into it, and the shoe was altogether much too small for her. Then the mother gave her a knife and said, "Never mind, cut it off. When you're queen, you will not care about those. You will not want to go on foot." So the silly girl cut her great toe off and squeezed the shoe on and went to the king's son. Then he took her for his bride and set her beside him on his horse and rode away with her. But on the way home they had to pass by the hazel tree that Ashbottle had planted, and there sat a little dove on a branch singing,
Back again, look to the shoe. The shoe is too small and not made for you. Prince, prince, look again for thy bride, for she's not the true one that sits by thy side.
Then the prince got down and looked at her foot and saw by the blood that streamed from it what a trick she had played him. So he turned his horse around and brought the false bride back to her home and said, "This is not the right bride. Let the other sister try and put on the slipper." Then she went into the room and got her foot into the shoe, all but the heel, which was too large. But the mother squeezed in till the blood came and took her to the king's son, and he set her as his bride by his side on his horse and rode away with her. But when they came to the hazel tree, the little dove sat there still and sang,
Back again, look to the shoe. The shoe is too small and not made for you. Prince, prince, look again for thy bride, for she's not the true one that sits by thy side.
Then he looked down and saw that the blood streamed so from the shoe that her white stockings were quite red. So he turned his horse and brought her back again also. "This is not the true bride," said he to the father. "Have you not other daughters?" "No," said he. "There's only a little dirty Ashbottle here, the child of my first wife. I'm sure she cannot be the bride." However, the prince told him to send her, but the mother said, No, she's much too dirty. She will not dare to show herself." However, the prince would have her come, and she first washed her face and hands, then went in and curtsied to him, and he reached her the golden slipper. Then she took a clumsy shoe off her left foot and put on a golden slipper, and it fitted her as if it had been made for her. And when he drew near and looked at her face, he knew her and said, "This is the right bride." But the mother and both the sisters were frightened and turned pale with anger as he took Ashbottle on his horse and rode away with her. And when they came to the hazel tree, the white dove sang,
Home, look at the shoe. Princess, the shoe was made for you. Prince, take home thy bride, for she's the true one that sits by thy side.
And when the dove had done its song, it came flying and perched upon her right shoulder, and so went home with her.
The end.
Ashbottle in Pikachu. I don't think I can do that one. Hi TK, good evening. This one, okay, so they do cut off one toe. They do cut off the one's toe. They don't actually cut off the heel. And this one is also missing. This one is also missing the part where when she gets married, the sisters stand by her side and then they get their eyes picked out by the birds. You need to read again. We forgot to record it. Well, the good thing is I am recording the VOD, so it's gonna be available. Let me just look up something real quick though. I know I said I wouldn't read out the German one, but I want to check real quick where I have it. Page 65. Hold on. 60. How many pages is my German version? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5. I'm doing it. I don't care. We're doing it. Have I seen a real life prototype for the Flower Stone building? I have not. Please send it to me. I would like to see it. Einem reichen Mann wurde seine Frau krank, und als sie fühlte, dass ihr Ende herankam, rief sie ihr einziges Töchterlein zu sich ans Bett und sprach: Liebes Kind, bleibe fromm und gut, so wird dir der liebe Gott immer beistehen, und ich will vom Himmel auf dich herabblicken und will um dich sein. Darauf tat sie die Augen zu und verschied. Das Mädchen ging jeden Tag hinaus zu dem Grabe der Mutter und weinte und blieb fromm und gut. Als der Winter kam, deckte der Schnee ein weißes Tüchlein auf das Grab, und als die Sonne im Frühjahr es wieder herabgezogen hatte, nahm sich der Mann eine andere Frau. Die Frau hatte 2 Töchter mit ins Haus gebracht, die schön und weiß von Angesicht waren, aber garstig und schwarz von Herzen. Da ging eine schlimme Zeit für das arme Stiefkind an. Soll die dumme Gans bei uns in der Stube sitzen, sprachen sie. Wer Brot essen will, muss es verdienen. Hinaus mit der Küchenmagd. Sie nahmen ihm seine schönen Kleider weg, zogen ihm einen grauen alten Kittel an und gaben ihm hölzerne Schuhe. Seht einmal die stolze Prinzessin, wie sie geputzt ist, riefen sie, lachten und führten es in die Küche. Da musste es vom Morgen bis zum Abend schwere Arbeit tun, früh vor Tag aufstehen, Wasser tragen, Feuer anmachen, kochen und waschen. Obendrein taten ihm die Schwestern alles ersinnliche Herzeleid an, verspotteten es und schütteten ihm die Erbsen und Linsen in die Asche, sodass es sitzen und sie wieder auslesen musste. Abends, wenn es sich müde gearbeitet hatte, kam es in kein Bett, sondern musste sich neben den Herd in die Asche legen. Und weil es darum immer staubig und schmutzig aussah, nannten sie es Aschenputtel. Es trug sich zu, dass der Vater einmal zur Messe ziehen wollte. Da fragte er die beiden Stieftöchter, was er ihnen mitbringen sollte. »Schöne Kleider«, sagte die eine, »Perlen und Edelsteine«, die zweite. »Aber du, Aschenputtel«, sprach er, »was willst du haben?« »Vater, das erste Reis, das euch auf eurem Heimwege an den Hut stößt, das brecht für mich ab.« Er kaufte nun für die beiden Stiefschwestern schöne Kleider, Perlen und Edelsteine, und auf dem Rückweg, als er durch einen grünen Busch ritt, streifte ihm ein Haselreis und stieß ihm den Hut ab. Da brach er das Reis ab und nahm es mit. Als er nach Hause kam, gab er den Stieftöchtern, was sie sich gewünscht hatten, und den Aschenputtel gab er das Reis von dem Haselbusch. Aschenputtel dankte ihm, ging zu seiner Mutter Grab und pflanzte das Reis darauf und weinte so sehr, dass die Tränen darauf niederfielen und es vergossen. Es wuchs aber und ward ein schöner Baum. Aschenputtel ging alle Tage 3-mal darunter, weinte und betete, und allemal kam ein weißes Vöglein auf den Baum, und wenn es einen Wunsch aussprach, so warf ihm das Vöglein herab, was es sich gewünscht hatte. Es begab sich aber, dass der König ein Fest anstellte, das 3 Tage dauern sollte, und wozu alle schönen Jungfrauen im Lande eingeladen wurden, damit sich sein Sohn eine Braut aussuchen möchte. 2 Stiefschwestern, als sie hörten, dass sie auch dabei erscheinen sollten, waren guter Dinge, riefen Aschenputtel und sprachen: »Kämm uns die Haare, bürste uns die Schuhe und mach uns die Schnallen fest, wir gehen zur Hochzeit auf des Königs Schloss.« Aschenputtel gehorchte, weinte aber, weil es auch gern zum Tanz mitgegangen wäre, und bat die Stiefmutter, sie möchte es ihm erlauben. »Du, Aschenputtel«, sprach sie, »bist voller Staub und Schmutz und willst zur Hochzeit? Du hast keine Kleider und Schuhe und willst tanzen.« Als es aber mit Bitten anhielt, sprach sie endlich: »Da habe ich dir eine Schüssel Linsen in die Asche geschüttet. Wenn du die Linsen in 2 Stunden wieder ausgelesen hast, so sollst du mitgehen.« Das Mädchen ging durch die Hintertür nach dem Garten und rief: »Ihr zahmen Täubchen, ihr Turteltäubchen, all ihr Vöglein unter dem Himmel, kommt und helft mir lesen, die Guten ins Töpfchen, die Schlechten ins Kröpfchen.« Da kamen zum Küchenfenster 2 weiße Täubchen herein und danach die Turteltäubchen, und endlich schwirrten und schwärmten alle Vöglein unter dem Himmel herein und ließen sich um die Asche nieder. Und die Täubchen nickten mit den Köpfchen und fingen an, pick, 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 pick. Und da fingen die übrigen auch an, pick, 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 that's one more pick than the English version, und lasen alle guten Körner in die Schüssel. Kaum war eine Stunde herum, so waren sie schon fertig und flogen alle wieder hinaus. Da brachte das Mädchen die Schüssel der Stiefmutter, freute sich und glaubte, es dürfte nun mit auf die Hochzeit gehen. Aber sie sprach: »Nein, Aschenputtel, du hast keine Kleider und kannst nicht tanzen, du wirst nur ausgelacht.« Als es nun weinte, sprach sie: »Wenn du mir 2 Schüsseln voll Linsen in einer Stunde aus der Asche lesen kannst, so sollst du mitgehen.« Und dachte, das kann es ja nimmer mehr. Als sie die 2 Schüsseln Linsen in die Asche geschüttet hatte, ging das Mädchen durch die Hintertür nach dem Garten und rief: »Ihr zahmen Täubchen, ihr Turteltäubchen, all ihr Vöglein unter dem Himmel, kommt und helft mir lesen, die Guten ins Töpfchen, die Schlechten ins Kröpfchen.« Da kamen zum Küchenfenster 2 weiße Täubchen herein und danach die Turteltäubchen, und endlich schwirrten und schwärmten alle Vögel unter dem Himmel herein und ließen sich um die Asche nieder. Und die Täubchen nickten mit ihren Köpfchen, fingen an, pick, 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 und da fingen die übrigen auch an, pick, 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 und lasen alle guten Körner in die Schüsseln. Und ehe eine halbe Stunde herum war, waren sie schon fertig und flogen alle wieder hinaus. Da trug das Mädchen die Schüsseln zu der Stiefmutter, freute sich und glaubte, nun dürfte es mit auf die Hochzeit gehen. Aber sie sprach: »Es hilft dir alles nichts. Du kommst nicht mit, denn du hast keine Kleider und kannst nicht tanzen. Wir müssten uns deiner schämen.« Darauf kehrte sie ihm den Rücken zu und eilte mit ihren 2 stolzen Töchtern fort. Als nun niemand mehr daheim war, ging Aschenputtel zu seiner Mutter Grab unter den Haselbaum und rief: »Bäumchen, rüttel dich und schüttel dich, wirf Gold und Silber über mich.« Da warf ihm der Vogel ein golden und silbern Kleid herunter und mit Seide und Silber ausgestickte Pantoffeln. In aller Eile zog es das Kleid an und ging zur Hochzeit. Seine Schwestern aber und die Stiefmutter kannten es nicht und meinten, es müsse eine fremde Königstochter sein, so schön sah es in dem goldenen Kleide aus. An Aschenputtel dachten sie gar nicht und dachten, es säße daheim im Schmutz und suchte die Linsen aus der Asche. Der Königssohn kam ihm entgegen, nahm es bei der Hand und tanzte mit ihm. Er wollte auch sonst mit niemandem tanzen, als dass er ihm die Hand nicht losließ, und wenn ein anderer kam, es aufzufordern, sprach er: »Das ist meine Tänzerin.« Es tanzte, bis es Abend war, da wollte es nach Hause gehen. Der Königssohn aber sprach: »Ich gehe mit und begleite dich«, denn er wollte sehen, wem das schöne Mädchen angehöre. Sie erwischte ihn aber und sprang in das Taubenhaus. Nun wartete der Königssohn, bis der Vater kam und sagte ihm, das fremde Mädchen wäre in das Taubenhaus gesprungen. Der Alte dachte, sollte es Aschenputtel sein, und sie mussten ihm Axt und Hacken bringen, damit er das Taubenhaus in 2 schlagen konnte, aber es war niemand darin. Und als sie ins Haus kamen, lag Aschenputtel in seinen schmutzigen Kleidern in der Asche, und ein trübes Öllämpchen brannte im Schornstein, Denn Aschenputtel war geschwind aus dem Taubenhaus hinten herabgesprungen und war zu dem Haselbäumchen gelaufen. Da hatte es die schönen Kleider abgezogen und aufs Grab gelegt, und der Vogel hatte sie wieder weggenommen, und dann hatte es sich in seinem grauen Kittelchen in die Küche zur Asche gesetzt. Am anderen Tag, als das Fest von neuem anhob und die Eltern und Stiefschwestern wieder fort waren, ging Aschenputtel zu dem Haselbaum und sprach: »Bäumchen, rüttel dich und schüttel dich, wirf Gold und Silber über mich.« Da warf der Vogel ein noch viel stolzeres Kleid herab als am vorigen Tag, und als es mit diesem Kleid auf der Hochzeit erschien, erstaunte jedermann über seine Schönheit. Der Königssohn aber hatte gewartet, bis es kam, nahm es gleich bei der Hand und tanzte nur allein mit ihm. Wenn die anderen kamen und es aufforderten, sprach er: »Das ist meine Tänzerin.« Als es nun Abend war, wollte es fort, und der Königssohn ging ihm nach und wollte sehen, in welches Haus es ging, aber es sprang ihm fort und in den Garten hinter dem Haus. Darin stand ein schöner großer Baum, an dem die herrlichsten Birnen hingen. Es kletterte so behend wie ein Eichhörnchen zwischen die Äste, und der Königssohn wusste nicht, wo es hingekommen war. Er wartete aber, bis der Vater kam und sprach zu ihm: »Das fremde Mädchen ist mir entwischt, und ich glaube, es ist auf den Birnenbaum gesprungen.« Der Vater dachte, sollte es Aschenputtel sein, ließ sich die Axt holen und hieb den Baum um, aber es war niemand darauf. Und als sie in die Küche kam, lag Aschenputtel da in der Asche, wie sonst auch, denn es war auf der anderen Seite vom Baum herabgesprungen, hatte dem Vogel auf dem Haselbäumchen die schönen Kleider wiedergebracht und sein graues Kittelchen angezogen. Am 3. Tag, als die Eltern und Schwestern fort waren, ging Aschenputtel wieder zu seiner Mutter Grab und sprach zu dem Bäumchen: »Bäumchen, rüttel dich und schüttel dich, wirf Gold und Silber über mich.« Nun warf ihm der Vogel ein Kleid herab, das war so prächtig und glänzend, wie es noch keines gehabt hatte, und die Pantoffeln waren ganz golden. Als es in dem Kleid zu der Hochzeit kam, wussten sie alle nicht, was sie vor Verwunderung sagen sollten. Der Königssohn tanzte ganz allein mit ihm, und wenn es einer aufforderte, sprach er: »Das ist meine Tänzerin.« Als es nun Abend war, wollte Aschenputtel fort, und der Königssohn wollte es begleiten, aber es entsprang ihm so geschwind, dass er nicht folgen konnte. Der Königssohn hatte aber eine List gebraucht und hatte die ganze Treppe mit Pech bestreichen lassen. Da war, als es hinabsprang, der linke Pantoffel des Mädchens hängen geblieben. Der Königssohn hob ihn auf, und er war klein und zierlich und ganz golden. Am nächsten Morgen ging er damit zu dem Mann und sagte zu ihm: »Keine andere soll meine Gemahlin werden, als die, an deren Fuß dieser goldene Schuh passt.« Da freuten sich die beiden Schwestern, denn sie hatten schöne Füße. Die Älteste ging mit dem Schuh in die Kammer und wollte ihn anprobieren, und die Mutter stand dabei. Aber sie konnte mit der großen Zehe nicht hineinkommen, und der Schuh war ihr zu klein. Da reichte ihr die Mutter ein Messer und sprach: »Hau die Zehe ab. Wenn du Königin bist, so brauchst du nicht mehr zu Fuß zu gehen.« Das Mädchen hieb die Zehe ab, zwängte den Fuß in den Schuh, verbiss den Schmerz und ging heraus zum Königssohn. Da nahm er sie als seine Braut aufs Pferd und ritt mit ihr fort. Sie mussten aber an dem Grabe vorbei. Da saßen die 2 Täubchen auf dem Häselbäumchen und riefen: »Uckidiku, Uckidiku, Blut ist im Schuh, der Schuh ist zu klein, die rechte Braut ist noch daheim.« Da blickte er auf ihren Fuß und sah, wie das Blut herausquoll. Er wendete sein Pferd um, brachte die falsche Braut wieder nach Hause und sagte, das wäre nicht die rechte, die andere Schwester solle den Schuh anziehen. Da ging diese in die Kammer und kam mit den Zehen glücklich in den Schuh, aber die Ferse war zu groß. Da reichte die Mutter ein Messer und sprach: »Hau ein Stück von der Ferse ab. Wenn du Königin bist, brauchst du nicht mehr zu Fuß zu gehen.« Das Mädchen hieb ein Stück von der Ferse ab, zwängte den Fuß in den Schuh, verbiss den Schmerz und ging heraus zum Königssohn. Da nahm er sie als seine Braut aufs Pferd und ritt mit ihr fort. Als sie in dem Häselbäumchen vorbeikamen, saßen die 2 Täubchen darauf und riefen: »Uckidiku, Uckidiku, Blut ist im Schuh, der Schuh ist zu klein, die rechte Braut sitzt noch daheim.« Er blickte nieder auf ihren Fuß und sah, wie das Blut aus dem Schuh quoll und an den weißen Strümpfen rot heraufgestiegen war. Da wendete er sein Pferd und brachte die falsche Braut wieder nach Haus. »Das ist auch nicht die rechte«, sprach er. »Habt ihr keine andere Tochter?« »Nein«, sagte der Mann, »nur von meiner verstorbenen Frau ist noch ein kleines, verbuttetes Aschenputtel da. Das kann unmöglich die Braut sein.« Der Königssohn sprach, er sollte es heraufschicken. Die Mutter aber antwortete: »Ach nein, das ist viel zu schmutzig, das darf sich nicht sehen lassen.« Er wollte es aber durchaus haben, und Aschenputtel musste gerufen werden. Da wusch es sich erst Hände und Angesicht rein, ging dann hin und neigte sich vor dem Königssohn, der ihm den goldenen Schuh reichte. Dann setzte es sich auf einen Schemel, zog den Fuß aus dem schweren Holzschuh und steckte ihn in den Pantoffel, der war wie angegossen. Und als es sich in die Höhe richtete und der König ihm ins Gesicht sah, so erkannte er das schöne Mädchen, das mit ihm getanzt hatte, und rief: »Das ist die rechte Braut.« Die Stiefmutter und die beiden Schwestern erschraken und wurden bleich vor Ärger. Er aber nahm Aschenputtel aufs Pferd und ritt mit ihm fort. Als sie dem Haselbäumchen vorbeikam, riefen die 2 weißen Täubchen: »Uckidiku, Uckidiku, kein Blut im Schuh, der Schuh ist nicht zu klein, die rechte Braut, die führt er heim.« Und als sie das gerufen hatten, kamen sie beide herabgeflogen und setzten sich dem Aschenputtel auf die Schultern, eine rechts, die andere links, und blieben da sitzen. Als die Hochzeit mit dem Königssohn sollte gehalten werden, kamen die falschen Schwestern, wollten sich einschmeicheln und Teil an seinem Glück nehmen. Als die Brautleute nun zur Kirche gingen, war die Älteste zur rechten, die Jüngste zur linken Seite. Da pickten die Tauben einer jeden das eine Auge aus. Hernach, als sie herausgingen, war die Älteste zur linken und die Jüngste zur rechten. Da pickten die Tauben einer jeden das andere Auge aus. Sie waren also für ihre Bosheit und Falschheit mit Blindheit für ihr Lebtag bestraft. Tada! So, big difference here is, obviously this is written in more oldish German than you would talk nowadays, but I'll take that. Have I told you guys before that from when is this book? From when is this book? It doesn't actually say in this thing, I think. It's old. It's really fucking old. It only says printed in Germany, and also it's number 891 from God knows how many. But since it's still written with some old writing that we don't use anymore, like sharp S for certain words, it is old. I've had this since I was a child. This book is more than 25 years old. There's a few differences here. I feel like the English version I bought is maybe a little more geared towards children, so it takes a little bit of how violent they are. Like, obviously there's still some violence present, but in the English version, the only one who has to actually cut off a part of her foot is the one with the toe, like the one that cuts off her toe, and the other one is just forced to like squeeze her heel in. And the German version, both of them, the one cuts off her toe, the other one cuts off the heel. And then at the end, what I said earlier is like when she gets married, the sisters are to the right and the left side, and then they get one eye picked out each, and then when they go back out from the church after they got married, they change the sides, and then they get the other eyes picked out. So it's like, okay, damn. Also, yes, please send the Twitter link. English fairy tales are definitely watered down in the violence department. I mean, I guess it definitely depends on the version you're reading. I just bought this one because I was in the bookstore and I saw it by chance. I thought to myself, fuck yeah, that's good. I'm gonna get those. Because obviously I can read the German version, but most of you will not be able to actually understand those. And it's one thing to listen to someone read something. It's another thing to at least, like, if you know the basic fairy tale, okay, sure. But if you don't even know the fairy tale, I'm like, I at least want to give you like one version in English, so you have the basic thing, and then I can tell you about the differences to the German version I have here. It's nice to listen to me reading these. I'm glad you think so, because that was a lot. Ye Old German's the final boss, even for native speakers. I mean, this is not Ye Old German. This is just slightly more. I don't know how to explain this. It's just like, it's obviously not how you would speak in modern times. This is not how I would speak to my friends, unless it was for a joke. Thank you for the idea, time. I did have, but I can't find it anymore. I did have, maybe it's at my grandma's, also a fairy tale book that was like, the type setting was cursive, full on cursive old German. I didn't even learn that in school anymore. We did learn cursive writing in school, but not that type. So like, okay. Oh, that's so cute though. That's so cute. Someone visiting their place. Aww. Thank you. Also, thank you for the idea time. But yeah, with those fairy tales done, we are done with flowers. For real. I know I said this like half an hour ago, but this felt important to me. This felt like a good way to end this as well. So this is where we're gonna end for tonight, and for flowers overall as a stream project. I'll see you guys again on Friday. Friday we're gonna... I'm hoping I can finish up the Phoenix Wright case we're on, because that means we would also be finishing off the second Phoenix Wright game. You upload the fairy tale separately on YouTube. If I manage to, because this is just the normal settings I have on this microphone, right? I was trying to see if I can maybe tweak it a little bit so there's less background noise, a little bit more focused, if I could actually do that. I know I said this months, years ago. My initial, aside from, ooh, yay, I want to play more of my video games, and my initial plan behind Nue as a VTuber was that I really, really, really want to make videos where I read out stuff, because I think that's fun. I think that's fun. I do think I have a good voice for reading. When I actually know how to pronounce the words and I don't stumble over them, I do think it is nice to listen to, so I would love to do that at some point. I just want to make it like with a little more care put into it, and not just, oh yay, we're just doing it on stream, whatever, but like full on also edited if I stumble over words, so it's not like that, it's like properly made. That's the goal. That's the goal. But yeah, that is gonna be it for tonight then. I'm gonna take this chance and send you guys over to Tip, who's playing Bugsnax, which I honestly don't know anything about, but Tip is always a fun time. Thank you for the fairy tale reading, it was cozy. I'm glad. I have... Okay, wait, one more thing. How many do I have in here? How many fairy tales do I have in the English version? Let me see. Let me check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wait. 50. 60. 65 in just the English one. Obviously not all of them are as long as Ashpuddle. Ashpuddle is one of the longer ones, I feel like. I think something like Rumpelstiltskin would probably also be a longer one. But yeah, that is it. That is it. Thank you so much for coming by tonight. Thank you for joining me for the rather long journey of flowers, not gonna lie. Especially if you've been here since I played the first flowers, it has been a while. But yeah, that is gonna be it for tonight. I'm actually gonna ring in the ending properly with my own music. Yep. Have a good night, everyone. I'll see you all very, very soon. It has been a journey. It genuinely has been. I cannot believe we're actually done with them now. I love these girls. They're very cute. I do have to look into the writers who were responsible for this one, I think, and check out if they got the stuff they have done, which maybe even the horror-ish stuff. But yeah, have a good night. I'll see y'all soon. And bye bye. Bye.